And who stepped up to keep the Fever's season alive last night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse? Those stories and more next. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 9 o'clock.
He went from a helicopter to a horse-drawn carriage. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's how President Trump arrived at Windsor Castle, greeted by King Charles. He's the first world leader to get a second British state visit.
The King and Queen will host a private luncheon, and then they'll lay a wreath at the tomb of Queen Elizabeth, who President Trump very much admired. Tonight, there's a lavish white tie state dinner in St. George's Hall, where both President Trump and King Charles will each make a speech.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich in Windsor. Tomorrow, the president will talk trade with Britain's prime minister. Friday, the president plans to talk to Chinese leader Xi Jinping, trying to finalize a TikTok deal after the social media app got another extension to avoid a ban in the U.S. unless TikTok cuts ties to its Chinese parent company. Sunday, the president will be in Arizona, along with Vice President Vance,
to speak at Charlie Kirk's memorial service. Kirk was a passionate supporter of the president, helping to mobilize young conservative voters on college campuses. And the vice president even filled in on Kirk's talk radio show earlier this week.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz, the suspected Kirk assassin, made his first court appearance via video, facing an aggravated murder charge that could lead to the death penalty. At a news conference, Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray detailed text messages between Tyler Robinson and his roommate.
Robinson, why did I do it? Roommate, yeah. Robinson, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. If I am able to grab my rifle unseen, I will have left no evidence.
FBI Director Kash Patel told a Senate hearing they're investigating others Robinson talked to in a chat group.
We're running them all down.
It's a lot more than 20?
Yes, sir.
And you're running all of that to ground?
Every single one.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's Republican Senator Josh Hawley. Patel clashed with some Democrats who accuse him of being a Trump loyalist, damaging the FBI. Patel will testify at a House hearing next hour, and the FBI is searching for a man who drove into a metal gate outside an FBI office in Pittsburgh early this morning and then ran off. The FBI is calling it an act of terror. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A late night fatal shooting. Sunny and 65. No signs of rain until later this week. The high around 87 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Police are investigating a shooting that left a person dead at a Greenwood apartment complex late last night. Officers do say they have someone in custody. The shooting occurred at the Westminster Apartments near US 31 and County Line Road. No other information has been released at this time. A corrections officer is arrested on Tuesday.
That's because he's accused of selling drugs in the Marion County Adult Center. I'm John Herrick. His name is Bryce Birdsong, and the Marion County Sheriff's Office Intelligence Unit says they confronted him about selling drugs Tuesday, and that's when they found him with narcotics. They also say he had more drugs in his car. Birdsong was fired from his job and arrested on several charges. He had been employed with the Marion County Sheriff's Office for a year and had no disciplinary history prior to this. Reporting from Marion County, John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Indiana says 23-year-old Chesterton man Jackson Fleming has been charged with one count of transmitting a threat in interstate communication. The United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland, was placed on lockdown last week because of the threat made to social media, during which a midshipman was shot in the shoulder. Thankfully, they are expected to recover. The FBI and the Naval Criminal Investigative Service are leading the investigation into Fleming. $3.08 a gallon is the statewide average for gas today, says Gas Buddy. That's down a few cents from a week ago. And Indianapolis gas is the cheapest in the state at $3.03. Staying alive, the Indiana Fever got the job done last night in Game 2 of their WNBA playoff series.
Mitchell from the logo, pulls, top of the arc three. Got it! Kelsey connects. The lead is 10, 35-25, under a minute till halftime.
And Kelsey Mitchell would go on to hit 4 of those threes, leading Indiana to a 77-60 win over the Dream. The win forces a decisive Game 3 of this first-round series, which will be back in Atlanta on Thursday. And the IndyCar schedule is out for 2026. IndyCar President Doug Boles is pretty pumped about the first 3 weekends in March.
I like the fact that we are continue to be committed to ovals, road courses, and street courses. Our drivers and teams are the most diverse in the sport, and most importantly, it takes 17 races to win a championship in the NTT IndyCar Series.
It'll be racing for 3 weekends in a row in the month of March, starting at St. Pete, then heading to Phoenix, and then on the streets of Arlington, which is a new track added for next season. With a check of traffic this morning, hello, Matt Bear.
Hello, Jared. Looking at the east side. Lawrence, northbound 465 at Penn Pike. Crash blocking 2 left lanes, slow to 70 for a 10-minute delay. South side, northbound 65 stop and go. 3-minute delay from Keystone Avenue up to the south split because of construction. In Hancock County, eastbound 70 going into Henry County. We are stop and go traffic from the county line into State Road 109. That is a 23-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus, get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease, 2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair. Your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or swaincollc.com.
This hour powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Douglas Mini Splits dealer.
A forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Lots of sunshine, very warm this afternoon. Today's high 88, mainly clear, quiet, and comfortably cool overnight. A low down to 62. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey, 93 WIBC.
I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and on WIBC.com. Kendall Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Congratulations, Casey. I think you've probably got her in program, too. Congratulations, Casey. I'll filibuster until we get Casey's microphone on. It's broke. Come over here, Casey, because we have to get to this woman and the ridiculous stuff. She said, I have no idea why your microphone's not working, but we will not be stopped. We will not be stopped from talking about the ridiculous statements of the Energy Secretary, Susie Jaworski, and the just clown behavior she displayed yesterday.
Yes, she was saying what? That local communities should be suing?
All right, so Susie Jaworski is the energy. Nice try, Braun administration. Not going to stop us from talking about it. Susie Jaworski, she is the energy and natural resources secretary.
Secretary of Energy and Natural Resources.
By the way, if you'd like to look this up, she makes $275,000.18. My favorite part is the 18 cents.
Right.
Like when they were negotiating with her to be a cabinet person, we can offer you $275K. Well, it's not going to be enough for me. How about we throw in 18 cents?
We need 18 more cents, please.
Yeah, so $275,000.18, according to the state transparency portal. She is also, we should point this out, because this is the hypocrisy of these people, or the ridiculousness of these people. She is a failed former candidate for public office. So she ran for state house, lost in the primary. And we see this a lot in government, especially in the Braun administration. See Jennifer Ruth Green,
right,
where these people lose elections. They get rejected by the voters, and then they get these cushy government jobs. Government is the only place where you can fail up
yeah,
and are allowed to lord over other people after the voters said, thanks for the opportunity to hire you, but no thanks. So she was speaking at the Fiscal Policy Institute. You know what happened? Nigel broke that microphone yesterday.
I saw it.
There was like a Zapruder film of Nigel breaking that
Slow-mo.
microphone, and I bet they didn't put it back together properly. I bet that's what happened. And of course, Tony Katz is never here, so you'd never know,
right,
with his morning show. It just dawned on, this is the file cabinet is working overtime here, Casey.
Yeah.
So she was speaking at the Fiscal Policy Institute's annual luncheon, And by the way, Indiana Capital Chronicle has this story. Abdul broke it over at Indy Politics. We'll have him on later to talk about it. And she started attacking communities in which the elected officials are vetoing these energy companies trying to come in, primarily the wind and the solar people.
Yeah.
And she just went on direct attack at these companies, including saying that these energy companies should sue the communities that are vetoing their projects.
Yeah, she was talking about that they should sue the communities if they change the local rules, if the developers are late in the process. Like, no contracts have been signed, nothing's for sure, but she's saying, no, you've worked this hard in the process, so you can go ahead and sue if you want.
So here's the quote. We'll play you the audio in just a second. Now, the audio is a little hard to hear because it's a lunch, right? So you're hearing people eating and talking. And
dishes are clanking.
Right. But so we will play you the audio. But here's part of the quote. This is Abdul had this. Again, Capital Chronicle had it. Quote, "That's disgraceful. Personally, I think that those companies should start suing those communities and get serious about it." So what this woman is saying, on behalf of Mike Braun, we just had
cabinet level position.
We just had Braun coming in here talking about how he's heard the people, he's heard the good news, he's responding to their concerns about all these things going on with the data centers and the blah blah blah. And this woman, on Mike Braun's behalf, comes out and says, if you're a community that is listening, if you're an elected official, be you a county commissioner or a town or city councilman, like we're seeing with Franklin Township and the Google data center here in Indianapolis, if you are one of those people who is listening to the concerns of your constituents and doing the right thing by your people, you should get sued by one of these companies.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible, huh?
Unbelievable. All right, so we'll read you some more of what she said in a moment, but here is some of the audio of her talking about this issue.
We have to do something as a state. It's crucial. We're in our own way. These local moratoriums are setting our energy policy. And not only that, it's creating a reputation. And I know it's in all other states, but if we want to win, we have to figure this out. And it's creating reputation where industry doesn't want to come because of things, especially the thing that really upsets me are the instances where a community will engage with industry. They string them along for a while. They have them invest. They talk about it. They, go back and forth. They spend 2 years, a few $100,000. They get right down to the end, and then they say, well, we're going to change our rules on this to become this. And there's no way they can do it. And so they've just spent $200,000, $300,000, $400,000. And there's no deal. That's disgraceful. Personally, I think that those companies should start suing those communities and get serious about it.
The arrogance from that woman, the elitism oozing out of that woman. First of all, let's talk about what she said, where she tries to claim that people aren't coming here. Bull. Or they won't want to come here. Bull. How many data centers? There's like 40 data centers in the pipeline that are approved or in the process of being approved?
Correct.
We have seen multiple times where they don't get approved in some county and they move on to another one. She is just straight lying when she says that. Isn't that a theme with the Braun administration, Casey, where these people will just say anything? And we hear from Braun all the time about how great the business climate is, about how people are flocking to Indiana, about everybody wants to be here. She's just pulling stuff out of her ass at this point because she wants these things here, and to belittle and try to bully and intimidate up to saying that they should sue these communities. So let me tell you how this process works that she's so enraged about, because this is how the process is designed to work. So when a company, whatever they are, Google or whoever. Now, one of the problems is we can't tell you exactly how it works because it all gets shrouded in mystery.
And non-disclosure agreements.
Once the governor, who she works for, once his IEDC gets involved, because you're right, the NDAs, et cetera. But how it is supposed to work is community X looks at a place, starts looking at places, and they say, hey, we've got 3 or 4 places that we might want to go. And then you start having conversations off of that based on, they do a cursory glance of what incentives are available, et cetera. And then they start talking to the town or city or county staff, town manager, mayor, whatever. And those people say, here's what I think we can do for you. And so that process starts at the local. Now, throwing the IEDC in is a whole different ball of worms, right? So, and if Braun's mad about that, he's just look in the mirror and point at himself. But with these local communities, you go to the local economic development corporation, commission, you say, here's what we'd like to do. Will you grant these incentives? And they say yes or no. If they say yes, then it goes to the local planning commission because it's going to require, in most cases, a zoning reclassification. At that point, people get to come, speak. Planning commission generally doesn't operate off of public sentiment or outrage. They just operate off of ordinances and whether you fit a specific group of things. They then decide thumb up or thumb down. Once the planning commission weighs in, they're not the final word on anything. The elected body, be they be a county commissioner or a town council or city council, becomes the final word, which those are the people who, by design, are most likely and should be to listen to the constituents. What this broad is mad about is that the process is working, which everybody knows. All these companies, when they come into these communities or counties, they know how the process works. They have highly paid attorneys who do all this for them. And she's mad that the process is working, which is that people are listening to their constituents.
At the end, she seemed to allude that you aren't patriotic if you don't allow data centers or energy development in your community.
She's gross. She's a failed candidate who had her opportunity to tell the voters about her ideas, and they said, no, thank you. And so what's she do? She goes to this lunch. She gets this cushy government position and starts lording over people and starts trying to bully and intimidate local elected officials who are doing your job. Think about the Braun cabinet and orbit right now and some of the people he's put in charge. You got this woman who's creating massive headaches for him. She's a disgrace. She should resign immediately. The disdain she has for the taxpayers of this state, which she put on full display, she should resign immediately. You've got her. You got Jennifer Ruth Green. What a dumpster fire that was. You got Jose Evans over at the Civil Rights Commission. He's out. You got Kent Abernathy, who was the head of INDOT, who was there a couple months and left. There's a whole bunch of these people that Braun put in these very important positions, and they've turned out to be awful.
Don't do what we want, we'll sue you. Strong arming. That's what you're getting.
All right, from one garbage to the next, we got to talk about Diego Morales when we come back.
Is he going to go traveling again?
Dirty Diego said
suitcase?
He may be on the move, baby.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
Do you suffer from sore feet, back, knee, or hip pain? The Good Feet Arch Support System has helped many people find relief, like Tim.
I'm always telling my colleagues who have sore feet, this is the greatest thing. I'll even take my shoe off and show them. And I believe in the product so much. When you have something that works, you kind of want to share it with people. It worked for me, maybe it can work for you.
Or do you wake up at night with heel pain, like Crystal?
I would wake up in the middle of the night with all kinds of pain in my heels and in my arch. So I went to the Good Feet store. And ever since then, I've been pain-free. I wear them every day. I wear them when I walk, at the gym, when I work. They're great.
Get back to walking, working, and exercising, and imagine a life without pain. No shots, no surgery, no medication. You've got nothing to lose but your pain. Stop into the Good Feet store today for a free fitting and test walk. We're located in Castleton by the Fashion Mall or in Greenwood, just off the 65.
Thanks to the Good Feet store. Thanks to the Good Feet store.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
It's the start of our favorite season here in Indy, football season. That's right. With all the hype and action this season brings, we know things can get loud and messy real quick. Before you invite your friends and family over to watch the games, you better call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res to clean up all those fumble moments in your home. And lucky for you, you can score big this month with great savings. Hi, this is Denny Smith, and you can get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at just $129 and take $75 off your air duct cleaning, too. The Zero Res service is easy to line up, and you can go online at ZeroResIndy.com to do the scheduling at your convenience. And don't forget the ZR water difference. No soap, no residue, no harsh chemicals, leaving things really clean. Now mention WIBC and you'll get 3 rooms cleaned by the Zero Res Pro starting at just $129. $129 plus $75 off duct cleaning too. 317-388-5141. Online at ZeroResIndy.com.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Join us every Friday right around 5:50 for Beer Sample Friday.
Brought to you by Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus, home of free delivery within 75 miles of their store.
Heat and cool with nearly geothermal efficiency in places you can't fit ductwork with Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits.
Just go to AbsoluteComfort.org. That's AbsoluteComfort.org.
Dirty Diego, oh, Dirty Diego, oh, Dirty Diego.
All right.
Oh,
it's an audience favorite. It's time for us to crap all over the Indiana Secretary of State, Diego Morales.
He was recognizing National Voter Registration Day yesterday, encouraging eligible Hoosiers to register to vote.
Well, you know, he threw that one guy out. He found one guy who was, by the way, we fixed the microphone during the break. Turns out it was unplugged.
You got to plug these things in? Why was it unplugged?
Anyway, so Diego Morales. Now, look, we told you this many times, but the reason we have the theme song Dirty Diego for Diego Morales, Indiana Secretary of State, is because he is a dirty, rotten individual, completely unethical at best, wholly corrupt at worst, and the guy, it's just always something with him. And so one of our old pal Indy Reporter at Indy_Reporter_ on Twitter, if you'd like to follow along, found this, posted this up. Diego was speaking at, what was this, some business services event? Is that right?
Yeah, it was the Secretary of State Business Services meeting.
Okay. Now, having a look at this, it's a Zoom meeting. So it's like a Zapruder film, right? You're trying to zoom in and see things.
Well, it looks like they have a U-shaped table, or at least 2 long tables that are facing each other, and there are some people there, and then there are other people joining via Zoom.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to find in the video, and I don't see him. Now, the people are very small, but I tried to, like I said, zoom in and, back and to the left. I do not see Raju, Diego's old pal Raju, in the video.
Is he still under contract?
Well, that's a good question. Now, you'd think for $80,000. So Diego's mysterious little friend there, Raju Shinthala, had an $80,000 contract with Diego's office.
I believe that contract may have expired over
Well,
the
but
summer.
I mean, you'd think for love of state that Raju has, he'd still want to go and see how, because Diego told me he wouldn't tell anybody what he did, and then finally he told me he was with the business services, and then I asked him what the hell that meant.
Checks on the business.
He checks on the business, and I said, well, what does that mean? Does he go to business? Are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? What does that mean? He checks on the hundreds of thousands of businesses that are registered in the state. He's checking. Anyway, I did not see him in the video, but that doesn't mean he wasn't there. Now, we mentioned Raju because Raju went on that mysterious 10-day trip to India with Diego and was bragging on social media about selling visa access while he was on the mysterious trip with Diego and was selling them in the city where the Star said Diego met with the mayor of that city. So I'm not saying everybody needs to start connecting dots or anything like that. But anyway, we did not see him in the video. So Diego has been under mass scrutiny over these bizarre international trips, which he has no reason to be taking because the Indiana Secretary of State has no economic development authority. His job is to administer elections and administer business registration, et cetera, for the state of Indiana. He has zero, zip, zilch, nothing, Nathan, nada in terms of economic development, yet he keeps going to foreign countries, and you got to, like, pry it out of him where he went and what he did, and in some cases, like the trip to India.
Who paid?
We still have no idea who paid for it. And then he comes up with some bullcrap excuse like he paid the money back, but then he won't show you any proof he paid the money back. So all that being said, here is Diego at this business services meeting, and he basically alludes to the international trips. They ain't stopping anytime soon.
I mentioned the National Association of Secretaries of State, our summer meeting that we had. I was there, and I mentioned about regarding the business fraud hitting Indiana and all across the country. But also there was a great discussion on the role secretaries of state play in international business development. States like Washington, as you all know, the National Association of Secretaries of State has a Foreign Affairs Committee, which I'm part of it. But states like Washington, North Carolina, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and so many other states, they share about various trips they have taken all over the world. I want to ensure that Indiana is not left out and we stay ahead of other states in attracting businesses to our state.
So I think...
Does he mean he's packing a suitcase?
He's leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when he'll be back again.
Yeah, they're doing it, so I'm going to do it too.
Now, what I don't know is if Raju just sells visa access
in India,
or if he is willing to take on the world in terms of selling that. Look, at what point does anyone, and I know most of these people in the state house, including the governor, are completely gutless to take on Diego because the money that touches him touches them too.
Yeah.
We all know what's going on here. But at some point, as a man, Governor Braun, don't you have to just say enough is enough with this guy usurping my authority, acting like he's something he's not, going to foreign countries, presenting himself as something he's not, and you go squish. At some point, how bad do you need the money, Governor Braun? You're worth somewhere between 36 and 96 million or whatever the number was on your economic interest statement. How bad do you need a few $1,000 from people? Can't you, on behalf of 7 million people, just rid us of this guy?
Did you see, though, the beginning of the meeting, he started off by bragging how he hasn't missed any meetings? Except for that one important budget meeting that he missed.
In India.
I haven't missed any of these business services meetings. He leaves out the part where he missed the budget meeting.
He's acting like, so when I was in high school, I don't think they have this anymore, but if you didn't miss any classes, so perfect attendance
award,
but you didn't have to take the final exams. I don't think they allow you to do that anymore. But if you had no tardies and perfect attendance, and you would see the kids the last day of school because it was a week earlier for them than everyone else doing the Vince McMahon billionaire strut out of that's what he's acting like. Look at my perfect attendance. I paid for India. I paid for India. I won't show you any proof I paid for India. Okay, so Jim Merritt's going to join us next. He's good friends with old Susie Jaworski, the energy secretary, who basically said if you're community opposes these wind and solar projects, you can eat crap and die. So we'll ask Merritt about his friend and why she can't stop flapping her gums.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
It's football season. The air is crisp, the stakes are high, and every winning team has one thing in common: a solid game plan. The same goes for retirement. You need a clear strategy, smart play calling, and a team who knows the field. At Howard Bailey Financial, we help you prepare for the long game, anticipating challenges, protecting your lead, and calling the right plays when it matters most. Because, let's face it, retirement isn't a pickup game. It's the championship round, and you don't want to wing it. Get off the sidelines and into the huddle. Text PLAY to 888-494-5004 to download your free retirement toolkit. That's PLAY to 888-494-5004. Howard Bailey Financial, because every great retirement deserves a game-winning drive. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. See disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The president is across the pond. Sunny 68, the high 87 today. This report brought to you by Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 9:31. President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump are in the UK for a state visit. There's talks about trade and technology investment. The president meeting with King Charles already today before talks with Prime Minister Keir Starmer are expected for Thursday. The president's last state visit was in 2019 during his first term. The man accused of killing conservative activist and Turning Point USA founder Charlie Kirk, formally charged with several counts, including aggravated murder on Tuesday. Fox's Garrett Tenney reports.
Utah County District Attorney says he will be seeking the death penalty in this case. Ahead of that hearing, the DA laid out the charges in a lot of the evidence that they have gathered so far against the alleged assassin, including his DNA on the trigger of the rifle used to kill Charlie Kirk. Prosecutors also shared text messages between the suspect, Tyler Robinson, and his romantic partner, where Robinson confessed to the shooting. Yesterday on Capitol Hill, FBI Director Kash Patel said investigators are tracking down each and every person who the accused killer had been in touch with leading up to and after the shooting.
Family members also told investigators that Robinson had become more politically left in recent years and that he said Kirk was spreading too much hate. And the co-founder of Ben & Jerry's is resigning after a public feud with their parent company over the war in Gaza. Jerry Greenfield says the ice cream company is being silenced by Unilever, who say they disagree with Greenfield's perspective. Your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is up 50 points, 45,757. The S&P 500 unchanged at the moment. And the NASDAQ down 5 points to 24,274. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and at WIBC.com.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Texting enrolls you in a real recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How's that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Nugenix Total T.
The testosterone booster?
Yes, it really works. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with Nugenix Total T, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference in the bedroom. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text HEFTY to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's HEFTY to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Donation.com for an incredible deal right now in September. You're going to save big this month. Buy 2 windows and you'll get 2 for free. No payments for 2 years. You won't have to deal with monthly payments, a down payment, or even any interest until 2027. I have Window Nation windows. They have brought the energy bills down in my house. My wife and I absolutely love our Window Nation windows.
Window Nation offers a lifetime warranty on all of their windows. So you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. And this deal, it's a good one. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Make no payments for 2 years. Nothing down, no payments. You don't have to deal with anything until 2027. 866-90-NATION. Call and talk to a rep. Schedule that free in-home estimate. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Hey, your friend stepped in it, Merritt.
Oh, my friend Susie.
All right, it's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. Casey's here. Look who it is. 30 years in the Indiana Senate, the great Jim Merritt. Hello.
Hello, Robert.
All right, so you're very good friends with Susie Jaworski.
I am. Still will be, too.
She's the energy secretary.
And you know I stand behind my friends.
I know.
Like you.
How many people just have separated with you over the years from your friendship with me?
There is a trail.
He's nodding feverishly as he's trying to say.
There's a trail.
A body language expert would destroy you because your head was just nodding feverishly.
I stick with my friends.
This is the thing I will say about Jim
including
Merritt.
you.
He is the most loyal person I have ever met. And boy, you're going to need to be with this one. So we mentioned this earlier in the program. Susie Jaworski, she is the energy secretary. She ran for State House. She lost. And then before that, she was something with the Trump administration, right?
Very impactful person, the Department of Energy for the Trump administration.
Okay, so she was at the Fiscal Policy Institute's luncheon, and she basically went off on local governments that are listening to their constituents and vetoing these various either energy projects or the related to wind, solar, whatever, and these industry people, the data centers, etc. And she said, quote, "That's disgraceful. Personally, I think those companies should start suing those communities and get serious about it." And people are outraged, and rightfully so. have you talked to your dear friend?
I have not had a conversation with her.
If you could talk to your dear friend,
I'm probably talking to her now.
What would you? I cannot. Look, I know she thinks it.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot believe a seasoned political person like her said that out loud.
Well, I disagree with her, and I think when people are coming into our state and they need power, they need energy, they need water, I think it's very important. And we've seen this 30 years ago when people wanted to come into the state and offer power to utilities that may be stretched because of extreme weathers with cold or heat. They had these peaking stations, and several of them failed initially because they didn't talk to the mayor, they didn't talk to the city council, they didn't talk with the movers and shakers. And when you come into a community, the first thing you need to do is establish a beachhead, a foundation of support. And in Montgomery County, Crawfordsville, it went 10 years with the wind lobby and trying to establish wind farms. And after 10 years and spending $1 million, a lot of people who wanted to establish the wind turbines in fields like that, you see up in White County on your way to Chicago.
Look, sponsor of our show, Freedom Foods, Farmer Ryan has them.
Yes.
And he's been quite candid about it. He said, look, I don't necessarily like them, but they pay a lot of money.
And they made a relationship with our friend Farmer Ryan. And there's more to that. And so the bottom line here is you have to establish relationships. And from the 50,000 feet, because I don't know what happened in Franklin Township, it looks like they did not establish relationships with Michael Paul Hart and people.
You're talking about the proposed Google data center.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you look at Tennessee, that doesn't have an income tax. Google went in there, established a relationship with the governor's office, the relationships with the locals, with the Tennessee Valley Authority, and Google now has a beachhead because they are bringing power, and they are not imposing on the utilities there or the ratepayer, and they now have a relationship with everybody that is necessary to create a data center in the state of Tennessee.
Susie Jaworowski said, quote, these local moratoriums are setting our energy policy. And not only that, it's creating a reputation where industry doesn't want to come. Bull. Because there's all these data centers that are in the pipeline. So clearly they do want to come. There's other people who come and get voted down. They go to another county. I mean, do they not have any sort of like public speaking course before you become a cabinet level person?
It's very important for the Braun administration, who in the beginning said we need 4 data centers and there'll be more. But it's very important for them to lay out the foundation of support in the local government.
Let's talk about, because what she's basically saying, so let's kind of explain how this process works.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone. And by the way, the reason we don't have more information is because the governor's little IEDC, Indiana Economic Development Corporation, is a shadow government entity that doesn't give information to people like other governments. Mm-hmm. So we don't have all the information. But from what we can kind of put together is that these companies, they want to go somewhere, they pitch it around. Certain governments, be they county governments or, community governments, town, city governments, go, okay, we're interested. They work through the process both with the economic development, local economic development corporations for incentives, whatever. Then they go to the planning commission. People have a chance to speak there. And then the final step, final boss, if you will, are the elected people. Mm-hmm. And naturally, the fever pitch grows throughout this thing, and the people most likely to listen to the constituents are the elected people. That's how the process works. And she comes off so aloof and out of touch on this, basically knocking these elected officials who are listening to their constituents.
Absolutely. And transparency rules the day. With anything in government, it rules the day. And what has happened in Marion County with this data center is that there hasn't been enough conversation, and the case has not been made that this is good for employment, this is good for the utility base, this is good for the ratepayer, this is good for the citizens, this will create jobs, this will lift up Franklin Township, which is 86% residential, and they don't have the base of retail, of industrial that pay taxes that will help the school system in the regards to making Franklin Township flourish, and the case has just not been made to the populace, to the citizenry, that this is a good project.
What do you think about the non-disclosure agreement?
I think in what you're referring to is with the superintendent of schools in Franklin Township, that'll all come out in the wash, but it will be late, and I think it with any government
it's
situation,
legalized bribery.
You have to,
isn't it,
be wide open with this, and it makes the case that something untoward is going on when you have a DNA.
Yeah. All right, so Jim Merritt's our guest, former state senator. We're talking about the energy secretary pissing the entire state off. I mean, to say that these companies should sue communities, what was she thinking when she said that? I mean, it's one thing to say, look, I think we're missing the boat here on this. Look, we got to come up with a more coherent statewide policy. Look, we got to find a way to get everybody on the same page quicker. All of those things you could say, but to say that these megacorps should be suing communities who are making very hard, oftentimes well thought out decisions about land usage, what in the world was she thinking?
I don't know where the origin or what the origin would be for a lawsuit in this regard. I don't know how a corporation is being wronged in regards to a negotiation right now. Now, if a decision had already been made and there was something that was illegal in that decision, then there might be a basis for lawsuit. But I don't know where she's coming from in that regard.
All right, so let's talk real quick before I let you go about Braun's cabinet and the people around him.
Yes.
Because he's got to make some changes, right? He's got this woman who's now giving him a bunch of headaches. He's got the Jennifer Ruth Green debacle, which is giving him a bunch of headaches. He's had people like Ken Abernathy over there at the BMV who just, or not
NDOT.
NDOT, thank you, who just skedoodled out the door in NDOT. Yeah. Ken Abernathy was the head of NDOT after just a couple of weeks. And, I mean, there's Jose Evans over at the Civil Rights Commission. Somebody is telling him to pick these people, and it ain't going well. And at some point, if you're Braun, don't you have to start looking at the people who are telling you to pick these people?
Well, your administration speaks for you. Yeah, the performance of your staff, of your cabinet, are everything to you. You witness the Trump won when he was elected, and now his cabinet now is completely different. And I think his cabinet is working very, very well for him. More of his personality, meaning Trump. And the bottom line
have you heard about Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and
Bonji? he is a rampager, and they are in his eye doing what he wants them to do. Now with Braun, I'd be very concerned about my staff. I'd be very concerned about my cabinet. And his comments that Abdul had been reporting on WOWO and radio in Fort Wayne, he's trying to
about the special session.
Yeah, special session and whatnot. The governor's going to have to work on a daily basis with the media to inform us of how he wants the next 3 years to go.
Seems to me he always likes to comment like, well, I'm going to see what the legislature wants to do, and this is up to them. At what point does he become the leader? He's the governor.
Well, it's kind of a sea change because the governor Holcomb worked through 70 executive orders with COVID, and he was he operated as a government himself rather than relying on the legislature, which I always say that it's 150 members of a board in the state of Indiana because they work with the governor, and the governor's going to have to make a decision on a special session regarding if they want to redistrict, and it's going to be his decision. And his decision alone.
So it seems to me like
we got to go. Sorry, we got to go. We're running long, Casey.
Okay.
All right. Sorry about that. Hey, Jim Merritt. Find him on Twitter at Jim_Merritt and Merritt in the Morning on Facebook. You're the best. Thank you,
Robert.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, we've learned more about the Charlie Kirk assassin, and we've learned that the media wants you to feel bad for him. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Hey guys, look, it's 9 gajillion degrees outside right now, but believe it or not, winter's going to be here before you know it. And all this talk about energy prices and electricity and gas, and one of the reasons your bill is so high could be because your windows are just plain inefficient. So if you're thinking, man, I don't want a whole another winter of feeling cold and drafty in my own home, now is the time to strike with Universal Windows Direct because they have an incredible deal going on. Listen to this. First of all, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. There's no limit. Then on top of that, 0% financing for 3 years, no interest, no pressure. And last but certainly not least, $500 off your entire home improvement project. So let's review. Buy 2 windows, get 2 free, no limit. 0% financing for 3 years and $500 off your entire home improvement project. Now, some restrictions may apply. So to get all the details and most importantly, schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate. Call Universal Windows Direct today. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Check them out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joiner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joiner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana. And the best place to start is joinerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joiner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joiner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joinerhomes.com.
Of all the times to buy new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease, 2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Catch Emmer and Nigel live from the Fall Home and Outdoor Living Show this Friday from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Grand Park Events Center in Westfield. They'll be checking out over 200 vendors, home displays, and all the fun happening at the show.
Weren't you impressed? I knew what that was.
I was very impressed.
Like, most people think Rob has no idea what's going on in pop culture. He knows nothing. Most of the time, that's true. But I was watching a thing, and Michael Douglas popped on, and it looked like it was an ad of some sort on the TV. And it was like, I bet that score that they have where they judge how effective celebrities are with Michael Douglas is very high amongst older people. And then I was saying, you know what I'm talking about. You kind of gave me a deer in the headlight look for a minute.
Well, and I said the Q score.
Yeah, I started to explain it to you because, of course, I don't know what any of this stuff is, but I just always remember hearing about that. And that's a thing, right?
It is. It's a thing. It's a measurement of a celebrity's recognizability and likability among the general public.
Okay, so you have found the list of the top people.
The top Q scorers.
Yeah, so next hour, we're going to play a little game where I'm going to try to guess. We'll tell you how they rank these people. There's an actual formula on who the top people are. Casey's going to walk us through the formula, and then I'm going to try to guess based on that formula, who the top celebrity endorsers are. That's in terms of effectiveness, the score, right?
Yeah, the purpose of the Q score, it's used in advertising, marketing, and media, and they use it to determine how valuable a public figure is for endorsements, TV shows, or brand partnerships.
All right, so we'll do that next hour. Also coming up next hour, in fact, coming up next segment, Casey and I have a very big announcement coming up for you. I teased it a little bit yesterday on social media. We've spent quite a bit of time getting all the I's dotted and T's crossed, and this is related to something that we have been mentioning and has been mentioned in the media for quite some time now, and there's a great bit of intrigue and interest related to that, and I feel very good now saying that we can make this announcement coming up at 10 o'clock. So, and then the other thing we got to talk about next hour, so everybody needs to stay around for that. But then, we have long had the debate about the lottery, right? Should you take the payout or not, or take the payout over time?
Right.
And there's something happening in our country right now that gives me peace and a definitive answer to whether
take the payout.
You should take the payout or not. All right, so big announcement coming up next.
It's Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Comcast Business High Five Hotline. What's the state of your excitement?
I signed my business up for the 5-year price lock guarantee, and I can't stop high-fiving people. High five!
Okay, deep breath. You're in a good place. You signed your business up for 5 years of gig speed internet and advanced security, all on our ultra-reliable network.
Gig speeds and advanced security? I'm so stoked.
Yep, and you get it at a great rate that's locked in for 5 years.
Woo!
The high five is just your body's way of saying, I'm winning.
So this is natural.
High-fiving everyone you see in a state of business savings enthusiasm? Totally natural.
Sweet! Thank you! Thank you! High five, everybody! High five!
The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee is back, but only for a limited time, so sign your business up today.
High five!
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/21/25 for new customers with qualifying bundle. Current customers may be eligible depending on services and area. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago Senator Dick Durbin. And now Dick Durbin has a new scheme, a government takeover of your credit card. Today, consumers have thousands of choices in credit cards, all with equal, strong security. But Durbin's plan is less competition and less security. And that means more risk for your credit and your identity. Tell Republicans in Congress, stop Dick Durbin's takeover of your credit card before it's too late.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
Seems like there's more identity theft in the news every day.
Another major healthcare breach was reported today, resulting in the exposure.
Now, 1 in 4 consumers have been a victim of identity.
That's because there are endless places that could accidentally expose you to identity theft, in a breach, or simply by mistake. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
At Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, you'll talk with an oncologist within 48 hours of your diagnosis, so you won't have to wait to start finding answers.
They got me in pretty quickly to meet my team. They gave me the plan and what they knew and what they wanted to do. I was really impressed with the care team and the approach they took.
Learn more about Community MD Anderson at ecommunity.com/cancer.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
When you call, text, or chat 988, the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline,
you'll talk with a trained specialist prepared to help anyone
experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis.
But the help 988 offers doesn't stop there.
They can also connect you to people and programs in your community
who will offer mental health assistance without judgment
and help you successfully navigate your everyday life.
Call, text, or chat 988.
When you need someone who gets you, they got you.
Guys, it's game on at Synergen X and Low T Center, your TRT MVPs.
Book a free TRT consultation and automatically enter for a chance to win autographed sports memorabilia, tickets, and more. Female patients, you can win too. Book at TRTMVP.com.
Jeff Chapman here. Your home has a lot of systems. We cover them all. Heating, air conditioning, plumbing, drains, and now electrical. Remember the man for all seasons, and now more reasons. Chapman. ChapmanHeating.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, an update from police to the fatal shooting last night at a Greenwood apartment complex. Also, where a body was found early this morning, why an Indiana leader is sending a letter to a popular online platform, and who's accused of making a threat that forced a naval academy to shut down. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Time for Fox News. It's 10 o'clock.
Will the FBI director clash with Democrats again? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Kash Patel's about to testify at a House FBI oversight hearing the morning after things got heated at the Senate.
You can't lecture me.
You can tell me my time's over.
You may be the charge of the
I'm
FBI,
not going anywhere.
but I am not afraid of you.
That was Senator Cory Booker. Patel also got into it with Adam Schiff.
We have countlessly proven you to be a liar in Russiagate, in January 6th. You are the biggest fraud to ever sit in the United States Senate.
And meanwhile, the FBI is searching for a man named Donald Henson after what it is calling an act of terror.
And they believe that he's a former member of the military with a history of mental health problems. At about 2:40 this morning, the FBI says Henson crashed his car into the entrance gate of the FBI's Pittsburgh field office. He then got out of his car, grabbed an American flag, and threw it over the gate before taking off on foot.
That's Fox's Brian Yennis. Suspected Charlie Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson is due in court again in 12 days after his first appearance facing an aggravated murder charge that could lead to the death penalty.
After telling the roommate he was the one who killed Charlie Kirk, the roommate texted asking why. Robinson said, "Why did I do it?" The roommate said, "Yeah." Robinson said, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out." The alleged killer said he'd been planning the assassination for a little over a week and thought he might be able to get away with it if he could recover the rifle he used.
That's Fox's Garrett Tenney at the Utah County Jail. Ryan Ruth's trial resumed this morning in federal court in Florida, where he's charged in the second Trump assassination attempt. More forensic evidence is expected. Ruth's defending himself. President Trump is at Windsor Castle in England. He got royal treatment arriving in a horse-drawn carriage, greeted by King Charles ahead of a private lunch and a formal state dinner. The president is the first world leader ever to have a second British state visit. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
New details about the fatal shooting. You've got a sunny sky. It's 69 in the Circle City. Nothing on the radar today. A high in the mid-80s. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 10:02. Brought to you by Gutter Helmet. A person is dead from a shooting last night in Greenwood. Police say 21-year-old Isaiah Peak Jr. got into a fight with someone, pulled out a gun, and tried to hit that other person. Instead, a resident at the Westminster apartment complex was hit and died. Peak ran off from the complex but was later found with help from state police and SWAT. He is now in custody. Also, IMPD says a body was found in a pond early this morning. Emergency crews responded to the pond in the Castleton area to investigate. Another discussion on redistricting by Indiana Governor Mike Braun. John Herrick reports.
Braun spoke to reporters and said he's noticing Republicans who were against it initially are now for it.
All I'm telling you is that we're going to look at it. We're going to poll our legislators, and if it's there, we're going to do it.
Which is why he thinks a special session on redistricting is becoming more and more likely. Democrat Representative Ed Delaney says redrawing Indiana's congressional maps shouldn't even be a priority right now.
We got a Medicaid problem. We got people on a wait list for preschool.
We got all kinds of problems, and we can't talk about them because we got to talk about redistricting.
John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Indiana Senator Jim Banks raising concerns about the online platform Discord. In a letter to the company's CEO, Banks highlights the recent assassination of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, citing law enforcement reports that the suspect confessed to the crime in a Discord group chat. The letter also references past school shootings and criminal activity, with the senator demanding a response from the company on their security measures by September 26th. 23-year-old Jackson Fleming of Chesterton is a former midshipman who's now facing a charge of transmitting a threat in interstate communication. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Indiana announced the charge this week after Fleming was arrested Friday. The threat coincides with the shutdown of the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis last week, where a midshipman was shot in the shoulder during that lockdown, but is expected to make a full recovery. And the Indiana Fever are still dancing. They beat the Atlanta Dream 77-60 last night in front of a home crowd. That now brings us to a decisive Game 3, which will be in Atlanta on Thursday. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in, and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months, no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off, restrictions apply, and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, or GutterHelmetIndy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
This hour powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Douglas Mini Split dealer.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Okay, we got a big announcement coming up, but first, let's get everybody up to date on what's been going on as it relates to the Charlie Kirk assassin, because there were a lot of moving parts yesterday, and just want to kind of take a moment very high level and let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah, so the assassin, he was charged with aggravated murder in the fatal shooting of Charlie Kirk, and the Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray, he said that their intent is to seek the death penalty against him. In addition to aggravated murder, he faces charges of felony discharge of a firearm, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and several other counts as well.
And look, we're not spending a lot of time on this anymore. I think the news is doing a great job of covering it. As new things get known, we'll tell you about it. Look, I know some people are up in arms about these text messages that came out allegedly between the alleged shooter and
his roommate
and the lover, whatever that person was. And I don't know. I mean, people are, kids don't talk that way. Look, this was not a normal person, and clearly had issues. And everybody was like, these are staged. The government. No, I'm not buying into any of that until somebody offers some sort of proof with that. By all accounts, the text messages seem to show. Now, then there's conspiracy people saying he was protecting the lover roommate. It seems like, based on the text messages, that the roommate wasn't aware of what was going on, when became aware, despite pleas from the shooter, the alleged shooter, not to cooperate, did cooperate with authorities, and it seemed as though you're dealing with just a complete lunatic who made a horrible decision and did something awful.
Yeah, and, there was that note that was found underneath the keyboard, and there's being reports that is in police hands now. So I think that's also a key element.
Yeah, and somebody said this. I've watched many documentaries on the Kennedy assassination, and somebody said this years ago, and it's true. In our society, we have a real problem with believing that irrelevant people can take down people of great importance. Like, our minds just don't compute that can happen. And every life is special and every life is important, but I'm talking in terms of a societal impact. And in the case of Lee Harvey Oswald, obviously he was some unknown individual, and he not only struck down the president of the United States, he changed the course of history forever. This country would have been markedly different if Kennedy had not passed away. And I think you're seeing some of that here, perhaps. And look, all the evidence will come out. I know they're desperately trying to find if there were other people on these Discord messages that were involved, et cetera. And I think a lot of that sometimes is that we just don't want to believe someone in terms of with no societal influence can strike down someone who was the leader of a legitimate movement that was impacting thousands and thousands of people.
Yeah. So the case is being prosecuted with strong emphasis on severity and also nature of the crime. There's a new poll that came out because of this. It's a Reuters Ipsos poll, and it says 63% believe that brash political rhetoric has done a lot to encourage violence in the United States.
What's the poll? What's the statistic?
63% believe that the political rhetoric that you hear.
What does that mean, political rhetoric? Okay, like you always see how they word these things in polls, and so my question is, what does that mean, brash political rhetoric? Because I think you could come and listen to the show each day and say, we're pretty brash. We don't pull any punches. We say what we think of these people, the politicians, yet neither one of us condone violence in any shape, form, or fashion. Just because I tell you what the politicians are doing and then tell you my opinion of it, I don't think it puts me on the hook in any shape, form, or fashion for the action someone take, because we go out of our way to say that we don't condone violence in any shape, form, or fashion. We don't lobby for it. We don't advocate for it. But it doesn't mean that I should feel bad if I tell you what I think of a politician. I shouldn't in the back of my mind go, well, I called that guy a clown or a dope or a pathological liar or, whatever. I'm not going to sit around feeling bad or worrying, oh my gosh, it might lead someone to violence, because I don't condone it. And as an American, I have the right. And by the way, I'm so careful, I don't even say anything that would get me in trouble on these highly regulated federal airwaves, right? I mean, I'm not going to feel bad about that. And I call all of that into question because everybody's responsible for their own actions. Everybody's responsible for their own life. And I think we look for scapegoats versus holding people accountable and recognizing we do have a serious mental health crisis in this country, and we do have a serious issue, it appears. We have a serious issue, it appears, in this country with people who are going through the trans process, which makes sense because they're doing all sorts of unnatural things to their bodies, and the people who are engaging with them are engaging with people who are doing unnatural things to their bodies. And we should be able to just address that and say, look, there are serious issues related to mental health as a collective in this country, and people who aren't getting help. And in terms of this specific group of people, it seems that there is now a propensity for violence if you speak out against that pocket or select group of people, or raise concerns. Not even speak out, just raise concerns. Because my take on the trans movement is this: if you're an adult, you chop off or grow whatever you want to chop off or grow. But don't expect me to subsidize it. Don't expect me to say it's normal. I don't care. I don't want to know about it, but I'm not going to advocate for it. I'm not going to say it's normal. I'm not going to say it's all right, but you leave me alone and I'll leave you alone. What I will not ever say is okay is for kids, people under the age of 18, to have any of this stuff done to them because they're not adults to make that decision.
Don't make me do it. Don't make me agree to it. And definitely don't try to make me pay for it or pull my children into it. You do have to wonder, the chemicals that are being put in these people's bodies, is it doing something else?
Well, that's my point. At any time you put unnatural things into the human body, I mean, that's what medication is. Medication is something to get a result, right? And your body functions in a natural fashion. I'm being very high level here, and some medical doctor is just screaming at their radio right now, but you get what I'm saying, right? That's what medication is. And when you're turning someone from a man into a woman or a woman to a man, I mean, like, Of course it's going to cause your brain and your hormones and everything else to be completely out of whack. But in this case, it wasn't a transsexual who allegedly did the shooting.
Right.
It was an intimate partner, allegedly, of a transsexual who did the shooting. And so that goes to the overall mental health conversation here, in which somebody is so deranged that they think killing someone is acceptable for any reason.
Back to this poll, it says the belief that political talk encourages violence. It was consistent across party lines. 63% of Republicans agree with that, 70% of Democrats agree with that, and 61% of independents agreed with that.
Say that again.
Okay, it was across party lines. People believing that political talk encourages violence.
Okay, but again, what does that mean? Does that mean we're encouraging violence? Like what I just said. Like what I just said, where I said, look, you do whatever you want to do if you're an adult to yourself. Don't ask me to condone it or subsidize it. Is that encouraging political violence? If I say that I don't think little kids should be able to chop off their penis, is that political violence? Look, you live your life and I'll live mine, but I'm not under any obligation to subsidize or condone actions that I don't agree with. Is me saying that the governor is a pathological liar when we've caught him in one lie after another? Is that condoning political violence? Is me pointing out how ridiculous the comments made by the Energy Secretary, Susie Jaworski, was about how large mega corporations should sue communities that are listening and responding to their constituents? Is that insinuating political violence? Like, I reject this as just out of hand, because we call people out every day, which is our right and our job, and at no point have either one of us ever been involved in any sort of political violence, nor do we condone it, nor do we say it's acceptable.
So you're saying there's a big difference between opinion and political violence. Older Americans are more concerned about this. 69% of those who are 65 and older view it as a very big problem, compared to just 50% of those people who are 18 to 29 years old.
Look, as an adult, you are responsible for your own life. I am responsible for my daughter's life until she turns 18. Now, as a parent, I will always be there for her. I will always do everything I can to protect her and take care of her. I'm not saying that. But legally, she has the right to start making her own choices once she turns 18. And we have entered a point in our society where we create excuses for everyone and for everything. That no matter what somebody does, somehow it's not their fault, that someone else is to blame. No, you are to blame. And if you are that mentally ill that you can't process that shooting some guy who's simply holding glorified town halls, which is all Charlie Kirk was doing, the shooting that person is unacceptable, then you have no business being in society. But I'm not to blame for that. You're not to blame for that. Tony Katz isn't to blame for that. The person to blame for that is, one, the kid himself, the guy himself, and two, the people around him who, look, there were clearly some signs of radicalization. It appears that there were clearly signs that the kid was becoming more and more entrenched in a worldview that didn't make sense or wasn't going to be productive, and for the people around him who didn't step in. Now, ultimately, it all rests with him, but I'm never going to accept that us talking about public officials, talking about people who spend our... What am I supposed to say to the governor, Casey? Am I supposed to him and go to Governor Braun, please stop lying habitually? Susie Jaworski, the Energy Secretary, please stop telling mega corporations they should sue lawmakers who are or local elected officials who are doing the right thing for their community. No, these people lord over us. They have the ability to screw us, and they do left and right. I'm not asking nicely for them to do anything, and it doesn't make me a bad guy for not doing it.
All right, we've got a big announcement coming up.
We will do it next. I promise we will do it when we come back from the break.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
The state of Texas can require voter ID for mail-in ballots.
It's not required already.
But Joe Biden got 82 million legal votes, Nigel. If you think otherwise, you might as well put the tinfoil hat on, okay? I don't think it's asking too much to have some sort of proof that you're a legal citizen in your mail-in ballot. Find a way.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIPC and WIPC.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Take the work out of fall cleanup this year at Quality Supply and Tool, where there's a huge Milwaukee Power Tool sale going on until November 2nd while supplies last. Buy the M18 Fuel Edger, hedge trimmer, pole saw, or pruning shears, and get the M18 Red Lithium XE5 battery free. That's a $169 value. Quality Supply and Tool also has big savings on M18 Fuel handheld and backpack blowers, plus 16 and 20-inch battery chainsaws. With locations in Jeffersonville, Bloomington, Lafayette, and South Harding Street in Indy, Quality Supply and Tool thinks outside the box store.
Truck drivers and owner-operators, there's never been a better time to team up at Schneider. We have more team-friendly loads than ever, including express delivery parcel freight that offers great miles with no delays to keep the wheels turning. Plus, for a limited time, company team drivers may be eligible for a sign-on bonus of up to $16,000. Owner-operator teams may qualify for a $10,000 incentive. Explore team driver positions at SchneiderJobs.com and search team contracting jobs at SchneiderOwnerOperators.com.
At Duke Energy, we're making Indiana's energy grid stronger and more resilient, ready for storms and growing energy demands. We're adding more power to the Indiana grid. We're using new innovations and smart technology to restore outages faster. And we're doing it all in cost-efficient ways to keep bills as low as possible while we serve you with reliable energy. Duke Energy, building a smarter energy future. Paid for by Duke Energy shareholders.
All right, announcement time. It's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. As well, let's just get right into it. I was trying to figure out, how we even. We'll dive right into it. So, for the past it's been about 2 months now. One of the stories that has really captivated people who follow Indiana politics and government has been allegations that artificial intelligence pornography was viewed in the lieutenant governor's office.
Correct.
And off of that, there have been people who have testified about, it's my understanding, a variety of things to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, which could be presented to a grand jury. And there's been a lot of commentary. And look, we've tried to tell people from the beginning that this is going to be a slow process. The real justice is not a Law and Order episode. It doesn't all get solved in an hour.
27 minutes and 30 seconds.
There's a ton of things at play when, especially it involves allegations of, government officials and office holders and all these sorts of things, right? And it's not going to be instantaneous, and it's going to take time to play out. And one of the things that I said very early on is that I had talked to someone who alleged to have viewed the video, and that this person described viewing the circumstances around which the video was viewed in great detail. They described it to me multiple times because I asked on numerous occasions to see if the story would change. It did not. They described viewing the video and what the contents of the video were, and that this person was in the process of cooperating with law enforcement authorities, and when they believed they were able to do so, that they would come on this program and that they would describe the events surrounding seeing that video, who was there, who they reported it to, etc., when they felt that they could do that. And I know many people have said, where's the video? Where's this? Where's that? The person, da-da-da-da-da-da. So tomorrow, on tomorrow's program, we are scheduled to have the person who is alleged to have viewed the video, and she is going to say all the things and hopefully put a lot of those questions to bed for people that they have had about her allegedly viewing the video.
Okay. So she'll be joining us tomorrow.
That's right. So that's the big announcement.
Okay.
So look forward to tomorrow's show. And in the meantime, we have the rest of the program to do today.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this idea of a Q score. And it happened because I was watching the television and Michael Douglas came on the screen.
Yes.
And it looked like an infomercial of some sort.
Right.
We don't have the volume up here. And I said, I bet that, especially with older people, because of who his father was, and then he's an actor and a pretty respected individual, isn't overly political that I'm aware of, not very bombastic. I said, Casey, you know that thing about like I'm describing it to you like sounding like a complete idiot as I'm trying to say, there's like a score, Casey, where they judge people based on whether they put them in ads or not.
Yeah.
And you're like looking at me, and then finally you go, you mean the Q score? Like, that's
it. That's it.
And you were impressed. I even knew that was an actual thing. And then you started looking up how they actually, this is a real thing that advertising agencies, et cetera, use.
Yeah, they use it to evaluate celebrities based on recognizability and also likability.
Yeah. So tell us how there's an actual formula that these agencies use when judging how to score someone on whether they want them to endorse their product or not.
Yeah, so it's used in advertising, marketing, and media. They use it to determine how valuable a public figure is for endorsements, TV shows, or brand partnerships. And what they do is they take if 70% of people know who the celebrity is, and 35% of those people say that that's their favorite, they take 35 divided by 70, you get a 0.5, 50%. It's on a 100-point scale. Now, they have the NPS, which is the Net Promoter Score, and that's for brands, not individuals. They have the Appeal Score, which is sometimes used in film testing or political polling. And then they have the engagement score, which is used in influencer marketing to measure activity. So there's a lot of different related metrics that you could use. Now, what we have is the current list of the top Q scoring celebrities. And then I also have the top 5 list, which is different. I tried to get them to combine together. Couldn't come up with it. But they also have, as of 2025, the current Q scores for athletes.
Okay. So
these are 2 different lists.
Oh, they're 2 different lists. There's a
2
list
different lists.
Okay. Now
you've got your celebrities and then your athletes.
Without being specific, do we count Peyton Manning as an athlete? Did they count him as an athlete? I mean, you got to tell me, because to me he's not an athlete anymore, but he is known for being an athlete.
He is on the top Q scoring athlete list.
I would guess he is near the very top because he's in everything. Is he number 1?
He's not number 1. He's number 2.
He's number 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh man. Is Caitlin Clark? Is she on the list?
She may be on the list. She's not in the top 5, which seems odd. You'd think that she would be.
Okay. Is Travis Kelce?
No.
Who's number 1?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan. Okay, very good. Yeah, okay. Isn't that amazing? What is he, 62 or 3 years old now? And he's still the top athlete?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Right.
Now, what would have been interesting to me is 15 years ago, I would bet Tiger Woods was probably atop of the list because he was so universal. And I would be interesting to go back to to see that. All right, celebrities outside of athletes. So Jordan's 1, Manning's 2. Who's number 3?
You've got Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and Tony Hawk all scoring very high. And they said that LeBron James...
Tony Hawk? What is this list from, the 90s?
No, I said 2025, right? Now, they don't have... The data isn't always available for where people score. I mean, this is private stuff. They don't want it getting out how well someone scores. But they go on to say that athletes like LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Tom Brady likely have high Q scores due to their sustained popularity and media presence.
Okay. Entertainers. I'm going to actually bet somebody, because you told me about the formula, who doesn't have a high likability but has a high ID, is at or near the top, and that's Johnny Depp.
You know what? He is on some lists. That's not who I was talking about, though. I'll give you a hint. It's a female, and you used to talk about her all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yeah, that's so obvious, right?
Yeah, so she's got a high recognizability score, but the likability score is not as high. So that marks her down a peg or two.
Who are the top 5 for the celebrities? Does it say?
Can you guess the top one? Come on.
You already told me it was Kim Kardashian.
No, she's number 3.
Oh, she's number 3.
Yeah.
Number 1?
Number 1, she was on a big mural on the JW, the hotel.
Oh, Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is number 1.
What are you shaking your head at, Jared Lewis? Oh, he's giving Taylor the thumbs down. Oh, all the Swifties in Central Indiana, they're coming for you, buddy. You better not show your head on any dating apps anytime soon.
I'm so scared.
You know who has a high Q score is Jared Lewis.
Yeah.
And he's next with the news.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Well, who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 Accord SE for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake. Visit our showroom off State Road 37 today. Tax and title fees not included with approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends September 30th. See dealer for details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
Who the Kirk suspect may have confessed to. A sunny sky at 73 in downtown Indy will be in the mid-80s this afternoon. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending now at 10:30. Suspect Tyler Robinson, accused of killing conservative speaker Charlie Kirk, may have confessed to others in an online chat after committing the crime.
After telling the roommate he was the one who killed Charlie Kirk, the roommate texted asking why. Robinson said, "Why did I do it?" The roommate said, "Yeah." Robinson said, "I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out." The alleged killer said he'd been planning the assassination for a little over a week and thought he might be able to get away with it if he could recover the rifle he used. Investigators found the suspect's DNA on the trigger of that rifle, but it was the surveillance images released by the FBI that his mom recognized as her son that ultimately led to the 22-year-old turning himself in.
Fox's Garrett Tenney reporting the suspect's next court date will be on September 29th. House Republican member Nancy Mace is planning to file a resolution that removes Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar from her assignments following comments about Kirk's assassination last week. Omar called Kirk reprehensible and reposted a video condemning him. Some Democrats are responding by calling for a vote to censor Republican Corey Mills of Florida, who they claim made campaign finance violations and committed sexual misconduct. Louisiana's governor says the state is ready for the National Guard to help police fight crime in their big cities. Jeff Landry says only a few are against the Guard going into New Orleans. A timeline for deployment is unknown at this time. And President Donald Trump arriving in Windsor today with First Lady Melania Trump as part of a state visit to the UK, where he was greeted by Prince William and Princess Kate before being welcomed by King Charles and Queen Camilla. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hey guys, it's Rob for my friend Mark Deedle, the great Mark Deedle. You know, Zillow ranks Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest markets. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with Mark Deedle. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed, no hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Deedle guarantees your home sold with a mutually agreed upon price and deadline where he will buy it. Listen to what Sarah in Fountain Square had to say about working with Mark Deedle. After investing in a property in Fountain Square, I ran into some financial trouble and needed to sell the place fast for max dollars. I hired the Mark Deedle team, and they were able to sell my property within weeks for over list price. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deedle 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeedle.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Man, I love seeing the old gang at these reunions.
Did you see Brian? He's in better shape than he was 25 years ago. How is that even possible?
Yep, I ran into him a few weeks ago and had to ask. He told me he started taking Nugenix Total T.
The testosterone booster?
Yes, it really works. I started taking it right away and I'm already seeing results.
I was wondering what you were doing. You seriously crushed me in that pickup game last week.
Yep, after 40, energy, strength, drive, it all starts going downhill. But with Nugenix Total T, I feel like my old self again. Stronger, leaner, and my energy is way up. My wife even noticed a difference in the bedroom. They're giving out complimentary bottles right now. Just send them a text.
Text HEFTY to 321-321 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster. Text now and you'll also get a free bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator. That's HEFTY to 321-321.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Heat and cool places where ductwork won't fit using Mitsubishi electric ductless mini splits. You can even wrap them to match your decor.
Find out more at absolutecomfort.org.
Okay, we have an answer to a long debated question on this program.
What's that?
At least a answer for me. It's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. So for years, you and I have gone back and forth, and Mock and I did this before you were here, which was if you won the lottery, like the big lottery, like millions and millions of dollars,
like the Powerball.
Yeah, would you take the payout, like the lump sum, in which you get all the money at once, but you get a lot less money, or would you take the payout over time? And I always kind of said, well, you can leave it to your heirs. We've I think definitively scored that, right? That's the rule, that you can leave it to your heirs, future people. And so I thought, well, why would I give up all of that money? And then
this story.
And then yesterday rolled around. Now this is not the lottery, but it's people who, as of until recently, paid out big money over time, and now they've said, we're done.
Yeah, Publishers Clearinghouse, known for their lifetime prize money, they filed for bankruptcy. And now they're leaving some of their past winners without the payouts they promised.
So CNN, amongst many other people, have this story. And basically, as part of this bankruptcy, Publishers Clearinghouse is now done paying out money that was owed to people that were on these lifetime payment plans.
ARB Interactive, which is a mobile gaming company, they bought Publishers Clearinghouse, their assets, but they're not going to honor the lifetime prizes that were awarded before July 15th of this year, and that's part of the purchase agreement. So there are some winners who have been promised like $5,000 per week for life. Guess what? You're not getting it anymore.
Okay, so $5,000 a week for life is $260,000 a year. So can you imagine? Now, again, this is not like lottery money where it's $1 billion, but $260,000. Well, that's not as much as Susie Jaworski makes, the energy secretary for Braun, to tell communities to eat crap and die if they oppose wind and solar. But it's still pretty good money, right? I mean, you're still probably doing a lot more than Susie Jaworski is doing for humanity, even if you're just staying at home on your Publishers Clearinghouse salary. But think about if you just instantaneously, because that's how this happened. One day,
gone.
You don't get any of it anymore, according to this CNN article. Done. And there's nothing you can do about it, I guess.
Well, there's this winner. His name is John Wiley. He was promised $5,000 per week for life, and he now says that he's struggling financially and selling off his personal belongings to stay afloat. Now, okay, obviously this is someone who has a difficult time managing money.
Yeah, because if you'd been bringing in $260K, is that right? You said $5,000 a month, a week
per week.
Per week. So 52 weeks, $260,000. Public school math on full display. If you were having trouble living on $260,000, yeah, you gotta, like, you know that meme of the guy pointing in the mirror and the mirror's pointing back at him. Like, buddy, you gotta do some soul searching.
Kind of on you.
But you would have, even if you're good with money, you're still gonna probably, depending on your age, have to go out and get a job or how you invested the money. You're still gonna probably have to now be looking at. And I think this guy said he'd been out of the, was this the one where the guy'd been out of the workforce for like 10 years or something like that because of the money? Where what
are you spending?
All your skills are probably highly outdated. You know, the guy was just living a comfortable life, and now dunzo.
So Publishers Clearinghouse revenue, it plummeted from $854 million in 2017 to just $182 million in 2023.
Okay, say those numbers again, because this was staggering when I saw this.
They had $854 million in 2017, and in 2023, it went down to $182 million.
So their revenue had decreased by 4.7 times in just 6 years. And and this is, you know, the conversation is obviously like, hey, they're not paying this out. That's what's grabbing the headlines. But it really is an insight into the magazine industry, which you're very familiar with, given what your husband does for a living, that it's, for the most part, over. I mean, you
can get it digitally.
At the time, according to CNN, at the time of its bankruptcy filing in April, the company reported liabilities of between $50 and $100 million. Its assets totaled between $1 and $10 million.
Yeah. So the company that bought Publishers Clearinghouse, ARB Interactive, they said they're not responsible for old prize payments, but however, they will ensure that all future prizes are honored under the new payment structure.
So if you, I think it's after July, according to this, if you won, you're in. You're still good.
But now, the people who won before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't our client.
The prize patrol showed up at your house with the balloons. Guess what? You're on your own.
They said in this filing that they've got promised prizes. Their estimate on promised prizes was at $26 million. So they're basically just wiping, I think, $26 million-ish off the books. That's a crazy story. And it really is the death of a bygone era, right? Because I remember as a kid, a little more seasoned than me, you were a young adult. Well, heck, it was probably when you were a kid, too, because it's been going on so long. Those commercials of people showing up with the big check and the balloons. And, yeah.
I mean, it's been referenced in a lot of shows over the years, too. SNL and Seinfeld and Cheers, and George W. Bush even made a joke about it. The company, the new company who bought Publishers Clearinghouse, says that they're going to work to restore trust in the Publishers Clearinghouse brand.
By screwing people out of $26 million.
Even though the past winners aren't going to receive any compensation under the new terms.
Okay, so this is interesting. So they went into a little detail in the history of Publishers Clearinghouse in this CNN article. And it was started, here's a name you don't hear very often anymore, by Harold and Lou Esther Mertz.
Oh.
I don't know any Lou Esters that are still rolling around. and their daughter Joyce in their basement in Long Island in 1953.
Okay.
And basically what they did was they sold magazine subscriptions to people and got a commission based on how many they sold. And then in 1967, they said, hey, how do we entice people
to order more magazines?
Yeah, and that's when they came up with this giveaway.
Yeah.
So what a sad end to a staple from the 70s through certainly into the 90s and 2000s. Publishers, so, you're talking 40 years or more. Publishers Clearinghouse was a well-known, ingrained part of the American psyche and existence, and
So you've got this mobile gaming company now that has purchased it, and it really makes me wonder, how are they going to transition from print into the digital world?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it's over for print. I mean, and then there's some things that will survive, and some of them will, find a way to carry on, but for the most part,
yeah,
it's over.
You know who's not over?
Who?
Hammer.
Oh, Hammer.
Yeah, he's going to join us next. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel Show back at it this afternoon. The biggest stories in Indy. Tony Kennett will join us, and we're going to have a good time. Let's laugh. 93 WIBC.
This is Matt Baer. You've heard Dr. Nick Wilson on the weekend shows here on WIBC, and you've probably heard me talk about how much restructured chiropractic has helped me over the years. If you're dealing with daily headaches, constant neck tension, or that heavy tech neck by noon, your body's trying to tell you something. At Restructure, they don't just crack backs, they dig deeper to find what's stressing your nervous system and help you feel like yourself again. Right now, Dr. Wilson is offering you a full spine and nervous system assessment with his team. That includes your consultation, posture and nerve scans, x-rays if needed, and a customized natural health plan. Normally over $250. It's just $88 when you mention this ad. Restructured Chiropractic, the place I trust to get real results. Text relief to 317-749-0677. 317-749-0677. Check out more at berestructured.com.
Hey, guys, September the 18th, that's tomorrow. That's the big day. We talked about it a lot. Project Rescue, our friends at Project Rescue. It's a phenomenal organization that fights human sex trafficking across the globe. They have a big event. It's the Hope Starts Here breakfast at the Lucas Estates. And it's totally free to attend. You get breakfast served, Prime 47, absolutely no cost to you. And you get to hear about how Project Rescue is fighting human sex trafficking, not just across the globe, not just across the country, but right here in Indiana. We love Project Rescue. I give to Project Rescue. Learn all about how they are partnering with our friends at Life Church and register to attend tomorrow. LifeChurchIN.com.
If you're experiencing a hardship and need to quickly sell your home, we may be able to help. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Simple Quarters has helped me by allowing me to sell my house. It's given me the financial stability to be able to move and go on with that next chapter. Simple Quarters was the best option for me because there was no BS involved. It was simply straightforward, to the point, honesty. And that is what made me go with Simple Quarters. There was nothing that I didn't expect. They didn't have hidden fees. They didn't ask me to go get an appraisal. They didn't ask me to have a surveyor come out. This has probably been one of the easiest experiences in my life. And if I ever have to do it again, I would call Simple Quarters again. Simple Quarters absolutely kept their word through the whole process.
Call Simple Quarters 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling, a familiar face in Indy.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling will pay you cash for your scrap metal. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling may seem familiar to you, and that's because they are. They're trusted local family-owned businesses going back 3 generations in Indy with their familiar orange logo and a name you know. But you may not know they'll pay you cash for your scrap metal. Cash is king. Your scrap aluminum, steel, copper, and brass will get you cash from Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Just drop it off or schedule a pickup, and you'll put cash in your pocket. Ray's Demolition and Farnsworth Metal Recycling. Local names you can trust with 2 locations.
Farnsworth Metal Recycling. place in Indy.
Get cash for your scrap. Get started at farnsworthmetals.com.
Hi, I'm Lacey, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. And yes, I'm actually a jeweler. I bring dream engagement rings to life every day in our jeweler's workshop. When I hand set your diamond into your ring, I think about creating a piece you'll wear for a lifetime. I pay attention to the smallest details and treat every ring with the same care and craftsmanship, no matter the size or price. Come check us out at your nearby store. Our engagement rings are made with love from our hands to yours, because a friend knows your love deserves the highest quality. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. For service today? Today.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe Nasal Spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
See a wreck on 465? Find a new pothole on your way to work? You can let Matt Bear know and help out your fellow travelers. Text WIBC to 317-239-9393 and join the text club.
Oh, that was funny. I'd forgotten all about that. That was good stuff. It's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob Casey here. That's Hammer. So we were talking about, in the break, different people have had different takes on the whole Charlie Kirk thing and the assassination, and then obviously this guy getting arrested. And then, like, the ABC guy was just gross yesterday.
Matt Gutman, he said it was very touching in a way that many of us didn't expect.
Talking about the messages between the alleged shooter and his
trans lover.
Is that what we?
That's what I've been saying.
Okay, very good.
The ABC News correspondent has since apologized for saying.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Well, he's not the only one, though. Like last night on CNN, you had the panel discussion. This is the one where Scott Jennings is the only reason people watch it.
Yeah, right.
He's up there. I think it's Montel Williams is on the other side. And Montel Williams is doubling down on that, too. You know, this is a love story. You know, this is, somebody protecting somebody that he loves.
Good grief.
And Jennings, who is normally like off the rails Rob, like, even by his standards, he was pretty reserved and was just like, what is wrong with you people?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. But anyway, we somehow got on Dana Perino. She said some stuff about it or had a take, or I can remember, we were just...
Well, she's on the 5,
That's
where
right.
Gutfeld has just been a flamethrower since that incident.
Yeah, and so we're talking about her. And longtime listeners of this radio station will remember one of the great moments in Hammer and Nigel history where Abdul had tried to claim for years, he had done this to me, I'd known Abdul for years, that he went on a date with Dana Perino. And I was like, you are full of it. That didn't happen. And he's like,
Dana Perino of Fox News, now former White House press secretary.
That's right. And he was adamant. And I was like, well, he's pretty adamant about it, right? Like, I mean, but I was like, there's no way. And then she was on your show.
Yes.
And I said, you got to ask her if she actually went on a date with Abdul. And you did.
Yeah, she was promoting a book or something. So she came on with us couple years ago, and we asked her, and it was a vehement no. It was a pretty adamant no.
But she knew who Abdul was. She knew who you were talking about? I mean, I'm impressed by that.
I think so. Yeah, I didn't even realize that, but it sounds like yes. And I think she mentioned, like, I met him at an event or something, but
it
never
was
went
not
out on a date.
Not a date.
Cable guy.
It'd be like me going to a Pacers game, right? And let's say Sidney Sweeney is sitting courtside. I went out with Sidney Sweeney. No, you were at the same place she was.
Or that time I met Bruce Springsteen at the book signing. I hung out with Bruce Springsteen.
Sure you did. That's fine.
No, you got 1 minute to talk to him, and then he kicked you down a slide and said, ho, ho, ho.
You paid for a meet and greet, and bada bing, bada boom. No, that was a pretty big adamant thumbs down from Dana.
I had totally forgotten about that. That was great.
Hey, man, young Dana Perino, smoke on the water, man. She's a good-looking woman now.
Current Dana Perino.
Yeah. But when she was the Bush White House press secretary, liked Dana Perino a great deal.
Well, very good. All right.
So did you guys do your big announcement already? I've been trying to listen all day, right? So I get up. It's like, all right, I'm going to get in the shower, but I'm going to turn you guys on the radio.
Sure.
Well, you turned Rob on because Nigel broke the microphone.
That's true.
That slow-mo video was like the Zapruder film, man. And I love that you guys slowed it down and put it on your social media.
And the look on his face.
Yeah.
In slow motion. It's just great.
So I'm listening at 9. I'm in the shower. All right, big announcement. What's it going to be? I'm excited. And then nothing happens. Like, all right, so I start doing some other stuff, and I'm driving in. It's top of the hour, 10 o'clock. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Here we go. And I get nothing again. Oh, it's coming up next. And at that point, I was just ticked off and I was out.
Oh, so you didn't even hear the big announcement.
Right. If you're not going to put it at the top of the hour, it can't be that big. What the hell?
Well, we didn't. We had intended to do it at the top of the hour, which I'll get to the announcement here in a second. But we intended to do it at the top of the hour.
See,
we're going to do it at 10:53.
This is how it happened.
10:15. This is the problem with our show. I have no discipline whatsoever.
Well, that's why you're here, Casey.
He kept talking and talking. We ran out of time. We had to go to commercial.
In addition,
and then we did it right when we came back. But you did not fall for the art of the tease.
No, that's not what happened. You guys let me down. And it's your fault, Casey, because your sole purpose of being here is to get him to shut the hell up sometime.
That's right. Yeah.
That's it. You have one job.
That's it. I failed. I failed miserably.
They do not trust me to be by myself. They're just like, someone has to be your adult supervision.
Have they met you? Like, do you blame them?
Someone must police him.
It's hour number 3 of having the Libertarian candidate for coroner on. Gee, I wonder who booked that show.
He would do that, wouldn't he?
Did you know the coroner is the only person in the county who can arrest the sheriff? Did you know that?
Really?
The coroner is the only person in a county above the sheriff. The coroner can arrest the sheriff.
That's a power move,
right?
We've got to go get the coroner hammered and just have him like walk over to the sheriff's house and
pull like Shooter and Hoosiers. Hey, you're the bozo with the glasses.
He's got cuffs. Get in the car. He's got the hearse. Get in the car.
Right.
I did not know that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the things you learned on our show. Anyway, we were going to do it at the top of the hour, and then we got into the whole Charlie Kirk thing, and obviously there's a lot of moving parts with that, and et cetera. So the announcement, I'm sure most people heard it, though. Tomorrow, we're scheduled to have a person who is alleged to have seen the AI porn video in the Lieutenant Governor's office.
Oh, okay.
Has said that they're ready to come on. They've dotted all their I's, crossed all their T's that they need to do, and they're going to tell that story, and then people can make up their own minds based on that.
And they're going to put their name on it and all that? Are you going to put him like where I stand, where the window's open, so it looks like witness protection?
Right.
You know,
blur the voice. You know, remember on Unsolved Mysteries, they used to have that all their whoa. No, this person they've done all they need to do, and they've said that they're ready to go, and said put name behind it. We wouldn't let them do that anonymously. No, we're not going to do that. You're going to make that sort of claim. You're going to tell everybody who you are. Yeah. And look, if there's holes in the story or whatever, we'll push back on it. We have no problem with that.
What time is it?
I haven't decided yet.
Okay.
I might tease it the whole show.
I know, and everybody's going to be ticked off and not hear it like they did your announcement because you buried it in the middle of the show.
You would have never listened for a whole hour. Mission accomplished.
No.
Thanks for the love.
What are you doing this afternoon? What's going on your show?
This afternoon, Tony Kennett calls in. We'll have some laughs, have some drinks, a little song, little dance, little seltzer in our pants.
All right.
That's the slogan for the show.
Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-951-4279 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-951-4279. That's 800-951-4279. What do you have to lose? Call 800-951-4279. Again, 800-951-4279.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
Of all the times to buy a new Lincoln, right now is the very best time at Tom Roush Lincoln. Get 0% APR for up to 48 months on 2025 Lincoln Corsair, Nautilus, or Aviator. Plus get a $1,000 Tom Roush Trade Assist bonus. So come get that new Lincoln from Tom Roush Lincoln, where our family's been serving yours for over 53 years.
36-month, 10,000-mile per year lease. $2,500 due at signing. No security deposit required. All offers subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details. Ends 9/30/25.
A Quality Supply and Tool now through November 2nd. While supplies last, there's a huge Milwaukee sale going on. Enjoy lower prices on outdoor power tools like chainsaws and blowers. Or grab a select M18 4 or 6-piece combo kit and get not one, but your choice of 2 select M18 tools free. The sale's at all 4 Quality Supply and Tool locations in Bloomington, Lafayette, Indianapolis, and Jeffersonville. Whether you're a pro during the week or want to work like one on weekends, Quality Supply and Tool helps you do it by thinking outside the box. Store.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The Sundown Gardens Fall Open House is this Saturday. Sales all day, giveaways, kids' games, and door prizes too. 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield.
The Suburban Indie Home and Outdoor Living Show.
September 19th through 21st at Grand Park.
Shop, compare, and save with over 200 trusted experts.
Tickets are $7 at suburbanindieshows.com.
In 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, who police arrested in a fatal shooting from last night in Greenwood. What U.S. Senator Jim Banks is asking of from a popular online social media platform, the response from state Democrats to redistricting plans from Indiana Republicans, and how the Fever were able to keep their season going against Atlanta last night. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HG1 Indianapolis. It's 11 o'clock.
It's Kash Patel versus Democrats. Again. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. This time at the House, the morning after the FBI director's fiery clashes at the Senate.
You are running the FBI not as a law enforcement agency charged with keeping the American people safe, but as a political enforcement agency working directly for the president's vengeance campaign.
That's Congressman Jamie Raskin accusing Patel of causing chaos at the FBI, criticizing his handling of the Jeffrey Epstein investigation. Then Patel and Raskin got into it.
There are multiple federal court orders. I'm not going to break the law to satisfy your curiosity. You didn't join us when we filed court to release the court orders. You could have.
As far as the Charlie Kirk assassination related to that, Patel told Democrat Jerry Nadler.
There's too much political violence.
You agree, yes or no, that there's violence?
There is too much political violence based on ideologies from either side.
From either side, okay.
And the FBI director says they keep investigating who chatted with suspected Kirk assassin Tyler Robinson.
Discord, the platform ownership, has been working with our lawful process, and we are obtaining materials from them on a rolling basis.
The FBI has taken into custody the man accused of ramming a car into a metal gate outside the Pittsburgh field office early this morning, calling that an act of terror. At a Senate hearing, the fired director of the Centers for Disease Control just testified about what Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. ordered her to do, but she refused.
He directed me to commit in advance to approving every ACIP recommendation, regardless of the scientific evidence. He also directed me to dismiss career officials responsible for vaccine policy without cause.
Well, Kennedy's maintained the CDC's failed to keep America healthy and needs reform. President Trump's at Windsor Castle, arriving in a horse-drawn carriage, greeted by King Charles. They'll have lunch and a formal state dinner. The president, the first world leader to ever get a second British state visit. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Identifying the shooting suspects. All clear on the radar, 75 and sunny on Monument Circle. The high today, 87. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 11:02. A person is dead. Another is in custody in connection to a late-night shooting in Greenwood. Investigators say 21-year-old Isaiah Peak Jr. had gotten into a fight with another person at an apartment complex. He then pulled out a gun trying to shoot that person, but instead shot someone standing nearby. That person died later at a hospital. Police tracked down Peak after he ran away. He's now being held in the Johnson County Jail without bond. A state official is calling out a social media app for its role in violent acts. Jeanette Cruz has the story.
Indiana Senator Jim Banks is holding the tech platform Discord accountable for its role in a series of violent incidents. In a letter to the company's CEO, Banks highlights the case of an Oklahoma mother who blames Discord for her daughter's abuse by a cyber criminal gang. The senator also notes that school shooters and a man accused of a high-profile assassination all use Discord to discuss their violent acts. Banks says the platform is failing to protect its users and is now demanding answers and a full account of the company's security measures by September 26th. Jeanette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Shortly after, Indiana Governor Mike Braun said on Tuesday that a special session on redistricting could happen later this year. Democrat Representative Ed Delaney fired back, saying it was Republicans who drew these congressional maps in the first place.
Without our agreement for those congressional seats, are they saying they understole, that they didn't shoplift enough seats? They're regretting it? It's not buyer's remorse. What do you call that?
He added that lawmakers should be focusing on other issues like fixing Medicaid, education, and the economy. The season isn't over yet. The Indiana Fever able to take Game 2 against the Atlanta Dream last night at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, 77-60. Kelsey Mitchell led the team in scoring again with 19.
I think we all piggyback off each other within our group and our organization, so I think it took a collective group effort to be able to be here. I think our first win here was big for us.
The decided game of the series is set for tomorrow night in Atlanta. And Notre Dame may be winless, but confidence in freshman quarterback C.J. Carr hasn't wavered. Len Clark has more.
Carr has shown poise through 2 tough losses, and quarterbacks coach Gino Galuli believes his young signal caller is ready for the challenge.
But he can handle it. Like, he's a kid that's sharp. He's going to put in the prep work. He can handle everything that we do. It's just allowing him to play fast, be decisive, and be confident.
The Irish look for Carr's first signature win when they face Purdue this Saturday at Notre Dame Stadium. Len Clark, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
And kickoff of Saturday's game is at 3:30. Meanwhile, the 19th-ranked Hoosiers have a big one Saturday, too, with 9th-ranked Illinois in Bloomington. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hey, do you have more than $200,000 saved for retirement? You could put that money in the stock market, but you have no idea what will happen with it. Or you could make a smarter move and get a 20% upfront bonus and a competitive return that's averaged more than 10% annually over the last 10 years. Here's the math. If you invest $200,000, you get an upfront $40,000 bonus. That's $240,000, right?
That $240,000 could earn 10% or $24,000 in that first year. So by year's end, your original $200,000 could grow to $264,000. Get all the information by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com. That's Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com.
This hour powered by Absolute Comfort, your American Standard Mitsubishi Electric Douglas Mini Splits dealer.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All right, we got to talk about what the governor of Utah said, because I think this is very interesting and definitely worthy of a debate.
So this is in response to the assassination of Charlie Kirk, the Utah governor, Spencer Cox. He condemned the social media response, and he called it a cancer on our society, and then he urged people to log off and connect with real life.
Okay, so he basically is saying that social media is a cancer on our society.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, that graphic video spread rapidly online, and that intensified the national outrage and online hostility.
All right, we're going to switch this up a little bit. Old switcheroo here.
Sure.
You go first. I'm fascinated to see what you think about what he said, and then I'll give it a shot.
Calling it a cancer on our society?
Yeah, right.
I think there's good and bad with social media. It does help you connect with your community. And in this case, sometimes it's a bad community, which is not a great thing. But if it's for good, it can connect you with people who are like-minded. And if you use it in the right manner, you can achieve better things. Now, this is an example of how it went haywire. I do think that if you spend too much time online, you get caught in that echo chamber and you just hear and see the same things repeatedly, and it's not healthy for you.
Yeah, but okay, he's the governor of the state.
Mm-hmm.
That means that guy, look, I don't know his full backstory, but he has, unless he just was one of those politicians that bought a seat, he spent a lot of time in politics.
Mm-hmm.
And politics is also a cancer on our society. Politics, I know so many people who are, deeply political people, and they're some of the most miserable people I have ever met because you're around scumbags and sleazeballs and people always looking out for themselves and people trying to one up. No, so he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. He became the lieutenant. He was appointed lieutenant governor. And then he became the governor. So he's a political animal, right? I mean, he's one of these people. He was a mayor before that. He was a county commissioner. So he's a political lifer. So there is a high level of hypocrisy for this guy to sit in judgment of anything when he has spent most of his entire adult existence, because he's only 50 years old, in the most miserable soup and stew of sludge imaginable. I mean, I know so many people who have just been chewed up and spit out and are miserable people because it's a never-ending rat race in politics, much like social media. So you got to get that out there to begin with. Now, he's right, and you're right to some extent, that the experience can be whatever you allow it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I think on social media, it's easy for some people to lose sight of what they're personally comfortable with. Like, for me, it's always at the front of my mind at any given point. I heard this years ago, if I just turn this phone off and go sit under a tree, none of you people actually exist, right? So that's always on my mind, and I thrive on conflict. It don't bother me at all. Some people, though,
it bothers them.
They get sucked into that vortex, and it really, really bothers them. And
well, it sways the way you think, because the farther you go into it, then you're exposed to different conspiracy theories or tropes and just more rhetoric. And then you start to wonder, what is the truth? What isn't the truth? And I was talking with our boss, David, about this, because he was saying that after he saw the video, like many people did, that it just kept playing over and over in his mind, and it was unsettling for him. And somebody had told him, hey, you don't have to go read what people are commenting on a post.
Yeah.
This is a stranger, someone who's not in your life, and you're doing that to yourself.
Yeah, you got to be wired in a certain manner to be comfortable with, and I'm saying like internally comfortable. There's some people who do it and put on a facade, and they're not actually comfortable with it. They're kind of miserable. You got to be really, really in touch with yourself to engage in the rabbit hole that is the comments section. Now, it's even on your own posts, right? Even on your own stuff. And so the problem with it is you got to either do it or don't. It's like you can't be half in and half out. And so you got to decide what you want your social media experience to be. And if you're going to, it's like in Field of Dreams, when you cross the first baseline, oh no, Doc, you can't go back. You can't go back. No, once you start engaging with that, you're in it. And a lot of people think they can or want to convince themselves they can, and they just simply can't turn it off. It was fascinating. I got a call last night from a politician. I won't say the person's name because it was a private conversation. This is someone I have not gotten along with. And this person said, well, look, in light of all the Charlie Kirk stuff, I just wanted to reach out and see if there was a way that we could, sit down and talk and da-da-da-da. And I told him, I said, look, first of all, if somebody's going to get me, they're going to get me long ago, right? But second of all, I think you want me to tone down the criticism of you. And I told the person, I'll meet with you, which we've met before, and it doesn't solve anything. I think you kind of want me to tone down. I don't think you're so much concerned about me, because I've been a target for years, right? And I've never heard you express concern for me, and bad stuff happens in politics all the time.
I don't know. I think maybe it was a wake-up call for a lot of people.
I think it's a wake-up call for them. Because I don't think most politicians care about, especially people who elevate, care about anybody but themselves. But what I told him is, I said, look, if your behavior changes, my behavior will change. Because my job is to comment and offer opinion on what you do. We joke about this all the time, that if these politicians behaved in a transparent, honest manner,
we'd be talking about Publishers Clearinghouse all the time.
We'd be out of a job.
Yeah.
We exist because people know what you are. They don't have the platform, or in many cases, for a variety of reasons, courage is not the right word, but they don't have the DNA to do what we do. And so I told the guy, I said, hey, I'll meet with you and we can sit down and we can, talk it through. But ultimately, it rests on you, the elected person, behaving better. And it's not even what you do, it's how you do it. That is so much of what we do here. It's not even the position, it's the way in which it is done. And so I just don't know, when he says this, he being Spencer Cox, the governor of Utah, who has spent his whole life in the real life sludge that is, what plays out on social media, which is politics, to tell people to turn off their phone. I'm not sure that's realistic in 2025 to do that anymore.
Well, let me ask you this, because I know on Thursday, the day it was 9/11, and it was the day after the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Our show was much different. The tone, the tenor, everything. It was softer. It was more compassionate. Many people were feeling different things, hurt. Do you feel at this point now, a few days removed, that you have to soften the tone of what you do?
No, because these political people work for me. If they don't want to work for me, leave. They lord over society. What Susie Jaworski, the energy secretary, said was a level of arrogance about that these, if you missed the early part of the show, we spent a lot of time talking about the energy secretary under Braun, so she is a reflection of the governor, said that these mega energy projects, the solar, the wind,
that they should start suing communities if they change the rules late in the process.
And when she says change the rules late in the process, what she's saying without saying it is listening to their constituents and responding to concerns from the people who live in those communities. That is a level of elitism and arrogance that if you gave me 3 hours, I couldn't even begin to scratch the surface on. What am I supposed to say to her? Please hate me less? No. And you know why people talk about it? Because of how we talk about it. And look, I'm saying this not that we do everything right, but I'm saying we're doing nothing wrong in the sense of we don't ever advocate for violence. We always talk about when you address officials in public that you should be bold with them, but behave and obey all applicable laws. That just because you don't have to like them when you see them out, you do have to behave yourself. We've never advocated for violence against anybody. But us telling you, or anybody telling you, their opinion of an elected official doesn't make them the bad guy in the equation. It doesn't mean they have to apologize. And the idea that people, like, Tony's right. Tony's talking about this, about the hate speech isn't a thing. You can hate the things people say, and that's fine. And there's many things you should hate that people say. But we try to pigeonhole into the good guy and the bad guy. The bad guy here is the guy who shot Charlie Kirk. And anybody who was helping him or knew about it or didn't do anything to stop it. Those are the bad guys. Those are the people who should be apprehended. You have the right not to like me. I have the right not to like you. You as an elected official have unlimited ability, if I live in your community or you are part of a government that oversees me, so this is from a state perspective, to affect my life. The taxes I pay, the way my community looks, everything. I am totally at your mercy. I am totally at your mercy. So you damn well better believe that I'm going to push back when you do things I don't agree with. And by the way, I do it all in the confines of heavy regulated federal airwaves.
That's true.
Everything I say is okay by the government standards.
Do you have a different tone on your social media account than you do here on the air?
No. I mean, you see my social media.
I know.
I don't use words that I can't use on here. I mean, if somebody can point to one, okay, I'll but I try to go out of my way to present the same level of presentation there that we do here. Now, some people are different, and that's okay. The reality is, I could say things on social media I can't say here.
That's true.
But I try to be consistent in that presentation. And one of the things that people are desperate for in our society is someone to fight for them. That's what that rally at the property tax rally at the State House was about, and why people hate Braun so much now. He was there when people were chanting "fight, fight, fight," and was at the center of it.
He rolled up his sleeves. You got the impression, yes, this guy's looking out for me.
People believe that nobody gives a damn about them. Why do people listen to us? Because we care. Even people who disagree with us listen because they know we care. They know it's genuine. They know our opinion of these people and how we feel about this stuff. It's in the fiber of my being. And if the politicians would just do their jobs, people like us wouldn't need to or have a platform to exist, because people wouldn't flock to hear what we have to say. The politicians are to blame. Now, you should never be violent. Should never do what that guy did against Charlie Kirk. But I am not for 1 second ever going to feel bad about being bold and brash and talking about and saying what I think about these people who run our society.
Do you feel that if you were to change your presentation or your delivery, that you might be more effective?
No, because I've tried that.
Yeah.
I tried for a year to be nice to all these people. I did whatever, all this time, all these years I've been at WIBC. You'd get further if you were just nicer. Okay, I'll try that for a year. What did that get me, Casey?
Yeah. It didn't work out so well.
I got lied to and screwed. I got lied to, manipulated, and screwed. And then as a result of that, people I love, our audience, got lied to, manipulated, and screwed. It doesn't work with these people. You can't be nice to them.
Not only that, but I don't think you'd be being true to yourself if you toned it down.
No,
because this is who you are.
I genuinely dislike the... Now, and I know we got to get to a break here. We always, like, in my personal life, I am not off the rails Rob Kendall. Like, I don't just run around shouting about politics. But I believe the things that I say here, and I believe them in my personal life. One of the reasons my blood pressure is always so low, and they're always like...
You get it out from 9 until noon.
It's all out. Once I'm done, it's done. Yeah. But I believe all the things I tell you here, I believe. I loathe these people with every fiber of my being, and I don't think we're the bad guys because we call them out. All right, when we come back, a couple weeks ago, we'd done a story. There is a group who has recognized, here in Indiana, who has recognized how poorly the Republicans and Democrats are doing when it comes to governing. Independent Indiana is their name, and their mission is to break that stranglehold and try to elect as many independent candidates for public office as they can. Now, I think they're up against a major hill to climb, but Nathan Gotch, who is the executive director of Independent Indiana, is going to be with us and tell us why he believes Indiana is ripe to have a lot of independent candidates elected.
It's coming up next on 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the Morning News. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
It's the strongest hearts that remind us to cherish the moments. It's the grandmas who made us sit up straighter, the grandpas who showed us old records, and the parents who were embarrassingly loud at our games. It's those hearts that are anything but ordinary. Caring for extraordinary hearts for decades, Franciscan Health knows heart care is more than just a name on a chart. It's somebody who shaped your whole life. Heal your heart today at franciscanhealth.org/heartcare.
Join Citizens Energy Group for free food, fun, and family-friendly activities at Community Resource Day on Saturday, October 4th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at Citizens Energy Group, located at 2020 North Meridian Street. Connector resources, assistance programs, and more. On-site translation services provided by Intrends Inc. Enjoy free food, giveaways, and fun. Community Resource Day is Saturday, October 4th at 10 a.m. Visit citizensenergygroup.com/CRD.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Casey, remember that story we did? It's been a couple weeks. Remember that story we did? It's been a couple weeks ago now, where we talked about how trying to elect independent candidates in the state of Indiana.
I remember talking about billboards. Is that correct?
So basically, what has happened is there is a group. Independent Indiana is the name of the group, and they have rightfully recognized that both the Republican and Democrat parties in this state are completely awful. You can't trust either one of them, and they both repeatedly let the people down. And they have said, hey, we need to focus on getting independent candidates, not just independent-minded people, but people running as independents elected in the state of Indiana.
Yeah, they think that the two-party system is hurting Hoosiers.
So, follow-up to this, they reached out and said, hey, we'd like to tell you a little bit more about what we do, because one of the things that we had touched on is, look, it's all well and good, and we support that 100%, because I think most people know our slogan on this show is, we hate all these people equally. But the reality is there are massive hurdles to running as an independent or being elected as an independent, especially the higher up you go in the office you desire to seek. It's one thing to say, I'm going to try to win a seat on the Reelsville Town Council, right? We love the people of Reelsville. No offense, just the first little town that came to mind. It's another thing and you could probably do that as an independent if you're a known quantity in your community, but it's a much bigger thing to say I'm going to win as a Secretary of State or as a U.S. Senator. So they reached out and said, hey, we'd like to tell you a little bit more about what we do because we think this can be done. So joining us now on the WIBC hotline is Nathan Gotch. He is the Executive Director for Independent Indiana. Nathan, hello.
Hey, good morning to both of you.
All right, so tell us about the group. And, I mean, look, I think we're spot on, right? We're not going to BS our audience. I think it's nice you guys are doing this, but the reality is you got some big hurdles to overcome to get independent people elected in this state.
Yeah, so let me tell you sort of what the genesis of this idea was. I think regardless of where you're at on the political spectrum, I think it's pretty clear that whenever you have one-party rule, and that is true for the state of Indiana, but also for a place like Marion County, when you don't have that competition, we all start to suffer. And so our interest is figuring out, okay, what can we do to try to return that to the state? And so we went and looked in the data. And I did an analysis of all the election results the last 2 years across the state of Indiana. And what I found was that independent candidates were starting to win in what to me were really surprising numbers. So I reached out to a former Indiana State Republican chair to find out if there really was something here. And I asked him, I said, what number of independents getting on the ballot the last 2 years? This is for any partisan race. I said, what number would suggest to you that there's something going on? He said 50 would surprise him. Now, the actual number is 244. His follow-up question was, well, how many of them actually won? His guess was 5%. The actual number is 52%. And what we're seeing, as you said, these are local races, but we're also starting to see independents run in bigger races for county-wide races, for state legislature, even a couple for Congress. And of those 244 who ran and lost, nearly a third got between 30 and 49% of the vote. So that suggests to me that the people of Indiana are actually wanting another real choice when they go into the ballot booth in November. And so what we're trying to do is first...
Yeah, real quick, let me introduce you. Nathan Gotch is our guest. He's the executive director of Independent Indiana. They're a group dedicated to try to getting non-partisan or independent candidates elected in the state of Indiana. So are you trying to say, look, we're kind of right now bypassing the idea of the statewide offices, at least from our focus, because there are such financial and legal hurdles, et cetera, which we'll get to in a second. Sure. You're trying to say, look, we're not even focused on that right now. We're going to build from the ground up.
We're trying to, first of all, let people know, hey, this is already happening. What most Hoosiers are feeling is something that is all across the state. I think a lot of us, because we don't really talk about politics in our social circles anymore, it's become sort of taboo. A lot of people think that they're alone. The truth is they're not. And the Independent Voter Project just did an analysis of Indiana voters, and what they found was 44% of registered voters are independent. That compares to 31% who are Republicans and 25% as Democrats. So the first thing we need to do is get the word out that these independents are already running and they're winning. And our organization is coming online to try to provide information and resources to people who might have considered or be considering running as an independent in the future. And then the other thing that we're doing, to your point, is we're studying how we can try to level the playing field. Two of the movies that sort of stand out as Hoosier stories, Hoosiers and Rudy, those are underdog stories. And the reason that those movies, are so compelling is those teens and Rudy were able to achieve amazing things, and they were successful, they won, but it was because they had a level playing field. And I think if we start to see a more level playing field where independents, Republicans, and Democrats get to play by the same rules, I think you're going to see more and more independents running and being more successful.
Nathan, I'm wondering, what sort of barriers are you running into, and what are you going to do about clearing those roadblocks?
So, look, the first two that really make it hard for independents to be more competitive are the fact that we are one of only 6 states with straight ticket voting. And we also have signature requirements that are very different for independents versus Republicans and Democrats. So let me give you an example of that. If you wanted to run for Congress, you have to, as an independent, get, depending on the district, around 4,000 signatures. If you're running as a Republican or Democrat, you don't have to get any. Now, when it's that many signatures, you have to hire a firm to help you get them. So we did some analysis, and the cost estimate is around $80,000 to get those signatures just to get on the ballot. Again, versus there's no fee, there's no barrier for anybody running as a Republican or Democrat. That just feels wrong to me.
Yeah, and then you extrapolate that out for a statewide race, and you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, even sometimes into the high hundreds of thousands of dollars, just to get on the ballot to run as an independent.
Exactly. Our estimate places that number between $700,000 and $800,000. I don't know about you, but I don't think that we should be forcing Hoosiers to have to buy their way onto the ballot and really creating a system where only a multimillionaire could run for statewide office.
Okay, Nathan Gotch is our guest. A couple minutes left with him. He's the executive director for Independent Indiana. They're trying to get more independent people to run for public office, to get more independent people elected for public office. What what do you guys need? Because while we're skeptical it's going to work, I think I speak for Casey with this. We want you guys to succeed because we recognize how poorly the Democrats and Republicans have governed. And I think there is a certain stain, for lack of a better term, or reputation that comes with the Libertarian Party of, hey, they're there, but they're not really serious. I think independent people running are going to have a better chance of winning in many cases than the Libertarian. So what do you guys need to get off the ground and get going?
The most important thing people can do is get curious about this. We've got lots of information on our website, independentindiana.org. But the other thing that a lot of people ask me is, who are these people? I think our stereotype of an independent is kind of the wacky person who couldn't get on the ballot as a Republican or Democrat. That may have been true in the past, but it's really not today. In fact, we're having an event next Monday in Indianapolis, Monday night the 22nd, where we are bringing in 3 successful independent candidates from around the state so that people can get to see them up close, hear from them, hear them tell their stories, and ask them questions. I think if people come to that event, and you can register for it on our website, it's free, but go to independentindiana.org to register. You're going to find that these are the kinds of people that really we imagined when we learned about how our system of government works when we were in school. These are just people who are in it for the public service piece, and they want to solve problems in their community.
Nathan Gotch, Executive Director for Independent Indiana. You can find him at independentindiana.org. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Facing a murder charge. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This report is brought to you by Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 11:30. A person in Greenwood is dead, and a suspect is in custody for shooting that person after getting into a fight with someone else. Johnson County Prosecutor Lance Hamner says 21-year-old Isaiah Peak will face a murder charge regardless of who he was shooting at.
It does not change, and it's called the doctrine of transferred intent. If a person were shooting at individual A and hits individual B, the same charge would be filed and the same intent.
It happened last night at a Greenwood apartment complex. Also, a body is found in a pond in Castleton early this morning. An investigation is ongoing there. Senator Jim Banks is sending a letter to Discord asking how the company is handling the recent violence that's been connected to their platform. And the Fever will play another game. They won last night 77-60. A decisive Game 3 against the Atlanta Dream will be played tomorrow. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The kids are heading back to school, and let's be honest, you're finally getting the house to yourself again, which makes now the perfect time to take care of that roof, siding, or gutters you've been putting off. And Moss Roofing is here to help. Moss Roofing has been helping Central Indiana homeowners for 34 years. They're family-owned, locally rooted, and known for doing things right every single time. Free inspections, honest advice, and top-quality work on roofing, siding, gutters, and windows. They treat your home like it's their own, and they clean up like they were never there. That's why they've got great reviews and a loyal following of happy homeowners. So don't put it off any longer. Let Moss Roofing check your roof, your siding, and your gutters to make sure they're ready for the winter ahead. For your free inspection, call 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour. This firm uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
Life insurance is one of those things that just about everybody needs, but few people actually have. Hey, if you die unexpectedly without life insurance, guess what? You'll leave your family with even a bigger mess. Life insurance will help replace your family's income. It'll help cover burial expenses. Life insurance can even help pay off debt like credit cards and medical bills. Life insurance can even pay for college. And if you own a business and you die, life insurance can help your business from collapsing. It can even help cover estate taxes. Life insurance has never been more affordable and needed. Plus, you can always shop around even if you have a plan and save some money. So call the Life Insurance Quote Line right now for free pricing information.
800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. 800-917-8730. That's 800-917-8730.
What's up, Indy? Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. Now is the best time of the year to buy new windows. Whether you have old, drafty windows or cheap builder-grade ones, September is the perfect month to protect your home from cooler weather. And right now, Window Nation is offering their most popular offer. Buy 2 replacement windows, get 2 for free. Plus, no interest, no monthly payments, no down payments for 2 years.
And did I mention their installation crews can replace a house full of windows in 1 day or less? With Window Nation, you get top quality windows from a trusted company, all at a reasonable price because they know replacing windows is an investment and they want to make it affordable for you. Don't miss Window Nation's most popular offer. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And remember, you'll pay nothing for 2 years. Hurry, Indy, you need to hurry because this sale won't last forever. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to get that free quote.
Heat and cool your man cave, attic, garage, or bonus room without adding ductwork with Mitsubishi Electric ductless mini splits.
To find out more, just go to absolutecomfort.org.
Oh, this is all on you.
Today's Constitution Day. Happy Constitution Day.
Oh, where we celebrate the document we ignore all the time? Well, good for us. Hot dang.
How are you going to celebrate? By reading the Constitution?
Going to do the same thing I do every single day. Well, every Wednesday we have our little staff meeting. And then I'm going to load my State House Happening show. And then...
Go watch your shows.
I'll go watch my stories.
Watch your shows. So yesterday, Governor Mike Braun, he announced a new workforce training program. And it is designed to help Hoosiers earn more money.
So
it's called Power Up Indiana.
Whoa. So he's going to take a bunch of extra money, which he did this legislative session, and then he's going to use that money that he took from you to turn around and help you make more money.
Right.
You're not spending money, Casey. I went to an auction as a little kid, and I used to be fascinated by auctioneers when I was a kid, and because they were like these entertainers that in my mind as a little boy, all the people were fixated on them. Of course, people were there for the stuff, but in my mind, it was like the auctioneer was the entertainment.
Sure.
And I remember this auctioneer when I was a kid. He used to keep shouting to the people, "You're not spending money, you're investing it." That's Mike Braun. Sure, I took all these enhanced taxes from you, but you're not spending money, you're investing it.
So Indiana's current unemployment rate is 3.6%, which is below the national average, indicating full employment. So they said the focus now is shifting from job placement to wage growth and career advancement. And they're doing this to the tune of $10 million, which was allocated by the General Assembly.
You want to help people stop taking their money. Like, this is a very simple thing. You know, like, it's one thing to help people with their skill sets. Okay, got it. Stop taking the money. Like, you are creating the problem that you're trying to fix with the ever-enhanced utility bill, ever-rising utility bills, the property taxes, the gas tax, the tolls, the wheel tax, all of this stuff, which means people have less money. And then our esteemed governor, which, by the way, we do have to make an announcement. We had a very, very intense discussion at the staff meeting yesterday. And we decided we're not going to call him Governor Dementia Patient anymore because we're really misleading our audience. We were trying to do that in fun because we know he's a pathological liar. And we were trying to do that in fun by saying, well, he would never lie. But then we're just misleading you because some people may think that he's not just a pathological liar. Braun has all his marbles. Braun knows exactly what's going on. Braun is a habitual pathological liar, so we are doing our audience a disservice by not saying what he actually is. So, from this point forward, he is Governor Habitual Liar.
Okay. Hey, Abdul is going to join us next.
Yes, we're going to talk all about the Energy Secretary's inflammatory statements here in the state of Indiana saying that energy projects should sue local governments if they don't get their way.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, we've learned more about the Charlie Kirk assassin, and we've learned that the media wants you to feel bad for him. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Hey, do you have more than $200,000 saved for retirement? You could put that money in the stock market, but you have no idea what will happen with it. Or you could make a smarter move and get a 20% upfront bonus and a competitive return that's averaged more than 10% annually over the last 10 years. Here's the math. If you invest $200,000, you get an upfront $40,000 bonus. That's $240,000, right?
That $240,000 could earn 10% or $24,000 in that first year. So by year's end, your original $200,000 could grow to $264,000. Get all the information by calling Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com. That's Bill Demery, your retirement guy, 317-648-5120, or visit yourretirementguy.com.
Okay, we are running a car drive right now to help veterans all across America. So if you have an old car, truck, or van, even a motorcycle or an RV sitting around, you can right now give it away and help the vets. They really need your help. And your car will help support the vets and their families. And guess what? You even get a tax donation. Plus, we'll even come and pick up your car for free. And all you've got to do is pick up your phone right now and make a free call. Now is the perfect time to do something good for the vets. Give back to the vets right now for all they've done for this country. And your old car can really help them. So call the Veterans Car Donation Program right now for free pickup of your vehicle. Help the vets and help your taxes at the same time. Call right now.
800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. 800-883-3024. That's 800-883-3024.
Don Fisher for QC Kinetics. I was struggling with chronic knee pain and wasn't encouraged with the options of risky surgery and pain pills. QC Kinetics offered the best option for me, cutting-edge regenerative medicine. Their non-invasive treatment stimulated my body's own biologics so I could be pain-free and get back to doing what I love, playing golf. QC Kinetics has a fantastic success rate, and it's clear to see why so many Hoosiers are happy to tell their story of how they reclaim their lives with the QC Kinetics approach. Ready to live your life pain-free? Go to qckinetics.com/Indianapolis or call 317-559-PAIN and get a no-obligation consultation. QC Kinetics uses the latest technologies, whether it's stem cell, PRP, plasma, or a number of other advanced therapies. Call QC Kinetics. It'll be the best call you will make. Get back in the game, whatever that is for you. Call 317-559-PAIN.
Everyone knows that PA Jewelers in Brownsburg is the place to get one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces. Diamonds, gold, gemstones, watches, everything. But PA Jewelers at the farmhouse is also the place to sell your jewelry, your watches, your coins, or bullion. PA Jewelers has the best prices and the best payouts. And they walk you through the process so you know what your pieces are worth and what you're getting. PA Jewelers at the farmhouse, 3750 South Green Street in Brownsburg, or online at pajewelers.jewelry. That's pajewelers.jewelry.
The IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship is back at the racing capital of the world. This sports car racing event, September 19th through 21st, is different than anything you've seen at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Sunday the 21st, it's the TireRack.com Battle on the Bricks. And now the race runs 6 hours. The paddock is open for fans all weekend long. Infield camping opportunities make this a can't-miss weekend. Kids 15 and under are free with a paid adult. Get your tickets at IMS.com.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Head online to the contest page at WIBC.com and enter for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Thursday, December 4th at Gainbridge Fieldhouse.
You know, Casey, we're never going to miss an opportunity to dump on people we don't like, especially when they give us a freebie.
Who are you talking about now?
Well, it's our old pal, Susie Jaworski. She's the energy secretary, and boy, did she say something beyond stupid. And let's bring in the guy who broke the story, the one and only Abdulatif Shabazz. Hello.
You know, these things have a tendency to find me. I'm totally convinced I'm a magnet for politicians saying stupid things.
Sure, you're always just minding your own business,
yes.
Right? Very good, right? Yes, a very mild-mannered man. So you had posted this, and then Indiana Capital Chronicle ran a big story about it. You posted over at indypolitics.org. I think you were first on this, that Susie Jaworski, the energy secretary, failed state house candidate, then went to a luncheon with the Fiscal Policy Institute, and, she didn't. She did advocate, not basically, she did advocate for these wind and solar project people to sue communities that don't approve their projects.
Close. Almost by 6 votes, believe it or not.
That she lost.
Yeah.
Hey, a loss is a loss.
Okay, just to set the background for our audience here, the Indiana Fiscal Policy Institute is a nonpartisan sort of budgetary think tank. They look at tax policy, school choice vouchers. If it's something to do with state government, the Institute tends to focus on those issues. And it is very, very establishment. It is extremely established.
That's why we don't get invited.
Which why I'm invited. I'm a member.
Oh, yes.
So we're there for the annual meeting, annual luncheon, the speakers, the whole 9 yards. And so they did sort of a Q&A with Susie Jaworski because this year the big topic was energy.
Yes.
Energy resources, wind, data, the data centers, the whole 9 yards. And so while they were doing the Q&A, talking about developers and these energy projects and these projects, Susie has said, I think she went on and on and on, and then she said, I think that if I was the developer, if the local government's going to pull the rug from underneath me after we go through this process, I'd recommend suing them.
Okay, let me read the quote from the Capital Chronicle. We played some of this audio earlier today in the program. That's disgraceful. Personally, I think that those companies should start suing those communities and get serious about it. Now, you were in the room?
Yes.
Can you describe the reaction of the audience when the energy secretary, cabinet member for Mike Braun, appeared to say that energy companies should sue communities who are listening to their constituents?
Let's put it this way. As you know, one of my favorite films is Blazing Saddles.
That's right, yes.
And there's a scene in Blazing Saddles when Cleavon Little shows up. No, I said the sheriff is a bong.
Yeah.
And everybody their jaws just drop to the floor when they see the black sheriff.
That's right.
That's the best way I can describe the look in the room. You could hear the jaws hit the floor. And everyone's like, Sheila Broflovsky, what? Did you just say that?
Yeah.
And I looked over at a good friend of mine. I was like, did you just, I think she just did. And everyone's just like, I can't believe she said that.
And there was no thing with her where she's like, wait a second, that didn't come out right. I misspoke. Like, let me whatever. None of that.
Right. And the moderator was part of the institute, but the moderator wasn't someone who moderates on a regular basis. Because usually if somebody says something like that, you give them like, okay, I want to make sure I heard you correctly.
Yeah.
Which is the moderator's way of saying, hey, how about you fix this right now and walk this back?
She also said, quote, these local moratoriums are setting our energy policy. And not only that, it's creating a reputation where industry doesn't want to come, which is just complete bull because we have all these data centers in the pipeline. All of these other proposed projects, they don't get approved one place. They go to the next county. I mean, that's just a flat out, it's just a lie that they don't want to come here.
I would not say it's a lie, but I would say her statement is inconsistent with the facts at hand. Now, her motivation, that I will leave that to Ms. Jaworski to describe. However, the thing is, if you look at every other day, We all get news releases from the governor's office. Indiana is the best place to start a business. We've got the best tax climate. We're doing school choice and vouchers, so people want to move here, blah, blah, blah. Great quality of life related issues. So if Indiana has this horrible, does Indiana have a horrible reputation? People don't want to come here?
Yeah.
Or do people want to come here?
Okay, so we got into this with Merritt earlier in the program. Braun's got a major problem with his cabinet and the people he puts around him, because look at what he's had to deal with. You have this woman doing this, which is a headache for him. You have the whole Jennifer Ruth Green thing, which is beyond a headache. It's a debacle. You got Kent Abernathy at INDOT, who quit after a month or two or whatever on the job. You've got the Jose Evans thing over at the Civil Rights Commission. It's just one thing after another on people who he has put in these high positions. At some point, doesn't he have to start looking at the tippy top people like a Josh Kelly and go, what are we doing here?
Well, the thing is, and like the Josh and I would get along well. I mean, but the thing is, to be a chief, at the end of the day, the governor's responsible for his people, but the chief of staff is responsible for the governor.
Yes.
And the one constant in this whole equation, the whole time around, is who?
Yeah, it's Josh Kelly. Well, yeah, I mean, he is, I'll say it, he has no business being in that position, and I can appreciate loyalty to some extent, but when you have a person who really doesn't have any experience in something like that. Sound familiar, Casey? Putting someone with no experience in as your chief of staff. It's exactly the issue with the number two in the state, with the lieutenant governor. And when you put these people in these positions, you almost can't even be angry at them that it's not working out for you.
The thing is, it's one thing to, Josh has been with me since day one. So, Josh, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to make you like my special assistant. So you're my WTF guy. If there's a problem, I'm going to go to you, figure it out, blah, 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 blah. But this person's going to be my chief of staff. This person knows how government works, knows how government is supposed to run, and we're going to accomplish our agenda in the context of less government, more efficiency, innovation, blah, 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 blah. That person's going to be responsible for that. You're going to be my right hand person that, if somebody can't go to the chief of staff, they can go to you.
Right. And look, he was with Braun in the Senate, he being Josh Kelly. But this is a different ballgame. The state government is a completely different animal on how it works, the players, the whole thing. And this guy, you're right, becomes the one constant in all of this stuff. The property tax debacle, everything, is that Josh Kelly is there and at the center of it.
And to another degree, Josh Kelly is technically responsible for Micah Beckwith.
Yes, if they'd have picked a better person.
Well, because
in what way?
Because one of the things that they did was because the lieutenant governor's picked by convention by delegates,
right?
And so instead of whining and dining the delegates, get to meet them, hey, what can we do to you, blah blah blah, they went very heavy-handed. They acted like they had it in the bank, and if you don't do this, we're going to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah,
and this will happen, and delegates pushed back.
Yeah, and they also were responsible. They were very hands-off in the approach to who they picked for their lieutenant governor nominee. They'd have picked a Dan Elliott. Even at the time, they'd picked that Jennifer Ruth Green woman before all this stuff, all the trouble she got into here with what's going on now, probably would have been a slam dunk. And instead, because they were hands-off on their approach and who they picked, they ended up with Micah.
Actually, I would argue they were too hands-on and not being hands-off enough, hey, it's about build. It's like we talked about earlier in State House Happening. It's about building relationships with people. And we don't have the relationships. It's really easy for people to tell you to get lost.
Did they just assume they would get what they wanted?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And as we know,
when you assume.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Find everything. IndyPolitics.org. Abdullah Keep Shabazz, thank you.
Thank you.
It's Kendall and Casey. Oh, you know what? Actually, that's going to do it for us today, isn't it? Yeah, it's
all
over. This is it. Any big tease for tomorrow, Rob Kendall?
Well, I think we teased it earlier, didn't we?
Okay.
I think we did. If you missed it, we're going to have the person in tomorrow who allegedly saw the AI porn video in the lieutenant governor's office.
There you go.
How about that for a tease?
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for listening today. It's been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Retirement isn't just about reaching the finish line. It's about knowing how to play the next movement. Without a plan, your savings can feel like noise instead of music. I'm Jason Hutchins with Guardian Wells Financial. I've seen too many families head into retirement without the guidance they need. That's why I wrote Orchestrate Your Retirement, a guide to composing a financially tuned plan. I'd like to mail you a copy at no cost. Call 317-660-0929.